mind-bending facts that will challenge your reality. Your body replaces all its cells every 7 years, yet you still call yourself by the same name. You are the same, yet profoundly different. Every molecule in your body has been replaced. You are a mosaic of time, a collage of ages past. But here's the catch. You cling to that name, identity trapped within an aging frame. Who are you, if not the collection of shifting parts? What remains constant when everything expires? Consider the paradox. A body that refreshes itself while the self remains static. You celebrate anniversaries, moments, memories. Yet, every 7 years, failures and triumphs revert. The cells have fashioned new pathways. Rebirth in flesh, but not in essence. Can one sever memory from identity? We span a lifetime in the name of permanence. We write histories of continuity into scrolls of experience. Yet the reality is, you have escaped into those meals, breaths, and seasons countless times. Every cell's death births the new, an orchestra of atoms split and merged in the dance of life. You is an illusion, a shadow drawn by the light of fleeting existence. Think, then, of the emotional weight of identification. Your name is a buoy, floating on the tides of your changing essence. It carries the fear of loss, the yearning for connection. And yet, as you cling to being you, the universe knows not of constancy. But what if we embrace this transience? What if we saw ourselves as streams rather than stones? Entropy celebrates reinvention. To let go, one must allow oneself to dissolve into the flowing water, to drift along with the river of existence. Ask yourself, who will you be 7 years hence? Will you recognize the echo of your own name? And the void stares back. Most of the stars you see in the sky no longer exist. Gaze upwards. The cosmic pinpricks are ghosts of a time long past, silent witnesses to the unfolding universe. You find comfort in their light, yet it's an illusion, unperceived reality. Stars twinkle, a deceitful wink, from beyond the veil of time. What was once vibrant, teeming with life, now crumbles in the silence of the void. Each glimmer signifies a story, a birth and halted flame. The distance imparted by light years becomes a bitter chasm. Is the universe a theatre for our dreams, or merely a celestial graveyard where light travels back to whisper? You dwell in illusions, lost in the beauty of stars that perished before your ancestors ever walked the earth. The existential paradox looms. Can you trust your senses when the universe sings a requiem? Just as these extinguished suns linger in our sky, we too vest ourselves in nostalgia for what is no longer. We wear the masks of memory, imagining permanence where none exists. So, what of those who idealize permanence? What hope resides in a reality that is but a series of echoes? Every breathing moment advances into history, shaping our deeds. Can you bear the solitude of knowing that even your thoughts may be mere reflections of a bygone pattern, faded and tethered to a history long extinguished? You are a paradox, sculpted from transient light and fading echoes. Perhaps to see beyond the stars is to confront the hollowness of existence itself, a graceful surrender to the impermanent nature of being. And the void stares back. You see the world with a 0.2-second delay, always slightly behind the now. Life unfolds, and yet you lag, an interminable echo in the theatre of perception. The universe rushes forward, while your mind is perpetually tethered to the past, an unseen spectre trailing just behind every moment of reality. What does it mean to dwell in a perception behind the present? A mere 0.2 of a second, a sliver, a blink. The world spins into view after it has already transpired, an illusion that shapes your existence. Each heartbeat is an echo, not a pulse. You perceive vibrations of reality, yet you are always bound to a delayed response. How does one truly engage with the present when experience is only a shadow? In that brief delay, Feelings ripple and distort. Sentiments become a masquerade. Truth is reconstructed and repackaged into the lens of memory. Yet the question remains, are we ever truly present, or only reflections of moments laced in hesitation? Quantum physicists remind us that perception shapes existence. Light that hits the eye imparts reality. It vanishes beyond perception. Look deeper. Light refracted by victory, loss, connection, and what do you find? Perhaps meaning is not in the moments we are aware of, but in those ephemeral glances, in the afterthoughts. Could it be that our lives are merely constructed from interpretations lagging in the corridor of time? So, sit in the beauty of that delay. Let it reverberate through your being. Time may not be a crutch, but a portal, inviting you to relish the sensation of experiencing the now while retaining slices of the past. Even if your view is but a fleeting glimpse, it remains yours, and the void stares back. Space isn't completely empty. It boils with particles appearing and disappearing. In the great expanse, you think of nothingness, yet nothing rests easy. A churning dance of elusive particles, a bubbling cauldron of existence rendered invisible. What then is emptiness if it is alive, if it quakes with potential? Reality is a tapestry woven with threads of uncertainty, a mystery echoing through the cosmos. At the atomic level, shadows flicker into being. They thrive, perish, and re-emerge, a cosmic waltz of impermanence. You label it emptiness, yet it overflows with possibilities, an extravagant illusion of void. Can you grasp the dance of existence when every inch of space vibrates with the unseen? Consider this. If the vastness conceals dance partners amidst its stillness, what of the emptiness you carry within? Each heartbeat, a paradox, a reminder of existence oscillating between the tangible and the ethereal. Ponder the notion you are never alone, for even the void breathes with exquisite fervor. In this bubbling sea of particles, you navigate a reality crafted from chaos. Chaos is poised for creation. It reflects the essential struggle of identity, the essence of existence. Do you dare to confront your own boiling void? Could you accept the notion that the cosmos holds its secrets not in perfect clarity, but in the ever-shifting pulse of uncertainty? To exist is to embrace whatever materializes in that unpredictable milieu, a courageous leap into the unknown. Accept the potential of the unseen, and thus shift your gaze to meaning amid the chaos. Find wonder in that which hums beneath the skin of reality, and the void stares back. The atoms that make you were forged inside dying stars. What if you are made of ancient ashes? Every atom in your body whispers the tales of stellar death, forged in the tumultuous furnace of cosmic catastrophe. Gazing up at the night sky, you behold the distant whispers of those very stars. Their light, an echo of an era long vanished. A staggering truth emerges from the void. We are the remnants of once mighty celestial beings, mingling amongst the echoes of their demise. But can one truly grasp this stellar lineage? Consider this: the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the carbon in every fiber of your being. It all originated deep within supernovae, colossal explosions that shattered galaxies into fragments. These stars witnessed the birth of time. They witnessed civilizations rise and then fade away into the fabric of oblivion. And yet, here you are, a vessel containing stardust, tethered to a fleeting existence. If every cell in your body is a testament to stellar revival, who are you really? A cosmic afterthought or a divine embodiment of history? But here's the catch. Every time you think of your past, every recollection morphs, altered by the very act of remembering. You, a construct of crushed stars, harbor memories that are yet again reshaped, as if your essence is fluid, malleable, forever in flux. This dizzying cycle amplifies the question: What does it mean to exist if the core of your very being shifts and transforms? We live in an age where access to water often dwindles, while individuals cradle smartphones as their only connection to a reality that grows ever more distant. Perhaps the irony is this: more people navigate their lives through screens than taste the pure essence of life itself. In our quest for knowledge, do we risk losing the tangible, visceral reality that binds us to our origins? This is where the dissonance arises. Earth spins at a phenomenal speed, 1,600 kilometers per hour, yet you feel nothing. In this dizzying whirl of existence, pain and plight, we occupy our moments, unaware of the cosmos spinning beneath our feet. What remains? A paradoxical existence. You are a stellar being, a transient whisper in the grand narrative of time. And yet, the atoms that comprise your being hold within them the stories of ages past. The universe compresses, expands, implodes, and yet you, just a heartbeat, remain. You are a temporal drop in a vast cosmic ocean. As you confront your own existence, remember the stars that birthed you and the timeless saga woven into your very DNA. Sit with this, and the void stares back. The more people have access to smartphones than to clean water. What does it mean to quench your thirst with pixels? In a world kaleidoscoped by screens, we find solace in the flicker of artificial lights. Yet the simple act of drinking clean water remains a distant luxury for millions. Irony intertwines with tragedy. The ephemeral holds more sway than the elemental. Is this progress, or an absurd denial of nature? Here's the paradox. The brain, a complex organ thriving on connection, flourishes in stimuli. But it craves more than validation through likes and pings. It yearns for life-sustaining essence. Yet countless souls scroll through curated lives while millions suffer, drowning not in water, but in the irony of disconnection. Could your heart grow heavier, knowing that while you swipe, someone, somewhere goes to bed thirsty? As you touch your smartphone, remember the precious water molecules that circulate around you, borrowed from biological history, the same droplets that quenched the thirst of dinosaurs. This ancestral essence binds you to epochs long past, yet it evaporates in the face of convenience. Each sip we forego for data is a sip of a vital past obscured by the allure of the now. The ancient meets the modern. How do we reconcile these chapters? And yet, as Earth spins unnoticed beneath your feet, think about the paradoxical dance of existence. Motion without sensation, life without essence. Your very being surges forward, propelled by invisible forces. But do you feel the connection? Or is it merely an illusion, an echo of what we could grasp? As the world swings between the comforts of technology and the primal call of sustenance, can we find balance? In a fleeting moment, the screen dims, and the clarity of shared humanity flickers, a reminder of our fundamental needs. Sit with this, and the void stares back. Earth spins at 1,600 km/h, but you feel nothing. What if you are a passenger on an invisible roller coaster? As Earth hurls through the cosmos at an astounding velocity, 1,600 kilometers per hour, you remain blissfully unaware. Your senses, finely tuned to the minutiae of your existence, ignore this symphony of motion. What lies beneath this apparent stillness? Is it comfort or a cruel trick of perception? This paradox highlights a remarkable truth. While you navigate your life, shaken by turbulence and upheaval, the planet itself darts through the void without hesitation. Each revolution, each heartbeat, seems to echo the dance of gravity, binding you to this spinning marble. But have you ever wondered how many of those moments slip into oblivion, unnoticed, like grains of sand through your fingers? Yet herein lies the cognitive twist. Your perception dances on a precipice of reality. By the time you experience this instant, it has already fled into the past. You dwell in a realm of memories, straddling time, a fascinating blend of anticipation and retrospection. What if your every step is an illusion, a fleeting spark of existence lost to the rushing air of a world in motion? And then, as you grasp for meaning, remember the forces that exist beyond your primitive senses. Gravity enfolds you, a constant reminder that despite the speed of your surroundings, you remain anchored in the present. Do you seek comfort in stasis, or does the thrill of motion beckon you to dive deeper into your own existence? Navigating through complexity and simplicity, we wrestle with the contradiction of perception. A body in motion feels surprisingly still. Is it fear that binds you, this illusion of control? The truth is, the particles around you shimmer in chaos. They dance, collide, and exist in states unknown. Sit with this, and the void stares back. Your gut has more neurons than a cat's brain. What if the whispers of your gut are wiser than you think? Within this labyrinth of flesh lies a hidden intelligence. Your gut, home to more neurons than a domestic cat's brain. This intricate network pulses, filling you with sensations and intuitions often dismissed. But could it be that our understanding of intelligence and consciousness is fundamentally flawed? Your stomach, not merely a vessel for digestion, speaks a language of its own. This intertwining of cognition, mind and gut, logic and instinct, leads us into a riveting paradox. When do we listen to the heart or heed the head? Is an intuitive feeling less valid than a rational thought? This silent debate often ensnares our very being, fashioning dichotomies that shape our reality. But here's the twist. As you navigate your innermost thoughts, remember that the brain, while prodigious, does not hold exclusive dominion over consciousness. The gut, brimming with neurons and wisdom, shapes emotions, a partner in your existential dance. In this encounter with self, do you dare to embrace the wisdom of your own biology, the cacophony of signals that constitute your experience? And yet, society teaches us to dismiss our instincts, rooting assertions in logic alone. As we compartmentalize our thoughts, we may sever ties with the visceral truth that resides within us. This tension, this dissonance, unravels with every breath, inching closer to an awakening. Embrace the dance between heart and mind. The practical merges with the primal, crafting a narrative rich in complexity. In acknowledging your gut and its collective wisdom, perhaps you can reclaim a part of yourself lost amidst the unchecked noise of modernity. Sit with this, and the void stares back. The observable universe may contain up to 2 trillion galaxies. Imagine, for a moment, that your existence is but a whisper in an infinite expanse, an existence surrounded by the vastness of 2 trillion galaxies, a cosmic tapestry waiting to unravel. What weighs more, the universe within you or the universe outside? You are a speck, yet you are filled with the eternal. But here's the catch. If the universe is so broad, why do we often feel so confined, limited by our own perceptions? Think of galaxies, milky spirals of stardust and mystery, where life, as we know it, may be a fleeting moment in an ever-expanding void. Each flicker of light we see tonight might have become extinct eons ago, yet their brilliance persists, echoing through the corridors of time. The physicist and philosopher Carlo Rovelli contemplates this wonder. Time itself is not a river it flows, but a collection of moments. Yet we grasp at the sand, pretending we hold our history, while the cosmos spins silently in its dance. The stars remind us of our insignificance, and yet challenge us to seek meaning in such a scale. Consider this. The particles swirling around you are remnants of those galaxies, witnesses to celestial births and deaths. You are not merely earthbound. Your essence is forged from the cosmic. The truth lies not in your smallness, but in your interconnectedness with everything. And yet, what echoes in this vastness? The same questions. What if I'm alone? What if no other consciousness contemplates the stars? The irony. While you are made of stardust, your gaze is fixated on the ground, tethered by the mundane. The universe cannot hear your despair, nor can it validate your existence. It merely is. Perhaps that's the beauty of it all. Your awareness, your longing to belong. In this chaos of existence, could the real question be, what meaning do you inscribe in your fleeting moments beneath the stars? Sit with this, and the void stares back. You see the world with a 0.2-second delay, always slightly behind the now. Every moment, you navigate life on the edge of a ghostly echo. You are a spectator, a delayed receiver of existence. The world unfolds, a symphony of sensations just out of reach, the real happening a fraction before your awareness catches up, the strange paradox of being in the now while in the shadow of ungrasped moments. But what if the delay is not just a physiological quirk, but a glimpse into the nature of reality itself? Your perceptions are an endless dance of time and awareness, constantly reconstructing a story where you are both the protagonist and the audience. What becomes of now if perception becomes a delay? Neuroscientists unravel this mystery. Your brain processes sensory information not in a linear fashion, but like a never-ending movie reel, continuously spooling out the past, your consciousness a mere reflection. You are 3 steps back, always adjusting to a world that is already gone, yet you paint upon the canvas of memory, one pulse behind existence. And if your perception defines your reality, then you are an architect of illusions. How unsettling it is to realize you cannot grasp the present. You can only chase whispers of what used to be. Each blink of the eye edits what you see. Yours is a mosaic of half-truths built from fragments and veils. Do I inhabit reality or merely adjust to it? A question that spirals, demanding an answer. As you chase the fleeting present, might you also uncover a deeper sense of self, the light in the delay? What if the essence of life lies not in frantic pursuit, but in the acceptance of the moment's evanescence? Sit with this, and the void stares back. You share 50% of your DNA with a banana. In the grand tapestry of life, you are linked to creatures as simple as a banana. Imagine the absurdity. Half of your genetic code mirrors that of this yellow fruit. A living paradox woven into the very fabric of existence. What does it mean to share half of your essence with something seemingly so distant? But here's the catch. Amidst the complexity of the human experience, a connection to something as humble as a banana screams of our shared origins. It hints at an evolutionary thread tracing back to primordial beginnings, where life emerged in myriad forms. Yet, in our human world, we strive for distinction, for a narrative that elevates us above mere existence. Each DNA strand whispers stories of survival, adaptation, an intricate dance of life itself, the flick of a genetic switch, the rise of multicellular organizations. These choices echo throughout time, suggesting we are not so unique after all. The philosopher Alan Watts posited, "You are all that you ever were." See, but what are you really, if half of you can be found in a fruit? And yet in this shared heritage lies a haunting beauty. It reflects not only our connection to the cosmos, but also to every living thing, an interconnected web of existence, vibrant and fragile. In this intricate tapestry, do you find solace or discomfort? Your identity, your self-concept, perhaps it's merely a thread woven into the universe's grand design. How do you reconcile with the essence of yourself, rooted in something so far removed from what you perceive as human? Sit with this, and the void stares back. Time passes more slowly for those in motion. Time, that relentless river, ebbs and flows, yet for those in motion, its essence distorts. Think of the moments racing past, your heart pounding, sweat beading, breaths quickening. In the whirlwind of activity, does time stretch to accommodate the exhilaration, or is it merely a trick of perception? Yet what of the stillness that accompanies stillness? In danger, time dilates. In peace, it constricts. The body craves activity, the mind, a retreat. The physicist Hermann Minkowski theorized that time and space are woven together, creating a fabric in which moments can stretch or fold. And yet, how often do we rush, unaware that each tick holds the potential of myriad experiences, waiting to be gathered? Life is what you make it, they say. But what if the quality of that life exists, not in its ceaseless busyness, but in the deliberate embrace of stillness? Can you find richness in the mundane? Is it possible that motion creates distraction while stillness reveals clarity? In a world perpetually in a hurry, ponder on what you lose in your pursuit. With every hurried step, you may be leaving behind the essence of living, the beauty of simply being. How can one savor the moment when the clock races and the heart follows? Perhaps the greatest lesson is found in oscillation, between calm and chaos, activity and reflection. Time flows differently for those who dare to pause, who grant themselves permission to feel the full weight of existence. Could it be that life's greatest depth hides within the moments we let pass unchased? Sit with this, and the void stares back. Your body contains more bacteria than human cells. You are more microbe than man. Your existence is a crowded colony, a bustling city of bacteria inhabiting your very essence. Can you reconcile this? You, a solitary figure, yet an entire ecosystem, an intimate multitude. What does it mean to be human when your identity is shared with trillions of unseen others? One truth stings. The self is not singular. What if, in embracing your own fragility, you invite chaos into a model of self-control? Science tells us that the human body harbors more bacterial cells than human cells, an odd sort of conflation of life forms. They are your unseen companions, integral to your biological processes. They digest, they synthesize, and they influence your thoughts. Emerging studies suggest that your gut's microbiome could affect your mood, a hidden puppeteer dancing through your neural pathways. It raises questions. Are your feelings truly your own, or are they whispers from the collective? Acknowledging this truth tilts the perspective, expanding the border of the self into uncharted territories. Who governs your mind, a singular I, or billions of bacteria nudging you toward choice? Do you stand in control, or are you but a passenger in a symbiotic relationship? Blurred lines arise, consciousness frays at its edges, as every heartbeat pulsates with borrowed lives. But here's the catch. If you're more host than hero, how do you define your identity? The answer lies in paradox. Comfort exists in discomfort. You are both whole and fragmented, a vessel of creativity and chaos. Maybe every friend, every lover, carries their own invisible world along, a delicate dance of dependence. The reality is intricate, heavy with implications. What's more, the majority of these bacteria remain undiscovered, uncharted. Your body is a universe all its own, a testament to interdependence woven into the very fabric of existence. As you breathe, countless organisms do too. Picture that. Life spirals inward and outward simultaneously, a grand paradox unfurling. Will this thought bring solace or a creeping dread? Will you sink into despair at the concept of losing singular identity? Or perhaps breathe deeply, embracing the multitude that enriches your life, empowering your existence? Contemplate this. You are a community, an ecosystem, dancing on the brink of consciousness. Sit with this, and the void stares back. You see less than 1% of the light spectrum. We inhabit a narrow band of reality. Your perception, the very fabric of your existence, is a sliver, a paltry 1% of the vast electromagnetic sea. How do you define vision when your eyes betray you? You wander, a ghost in a world filled with color and light beyond your grasp. Are you the observer, or do you merely catch echoes of existence? The emotional weight of this realization beckons intrigue. Imagine beacons of light swirling beyond the veil, dancing just out of reach. Scientific illumination tells us that ultraviolet and infrared exist, unseen. These vibrant spectrums pass through your world, yet your cognitive canvas remains blank, ghostly specters of a hidden realm. What realities fold in on themselves inside this unseen depth? And yet, this hidden vision carries poignancy. It offers a reflection of your existence, limited yet profound. Such wonder hides in plain sight. You step through dimensions, unaware of the multi-layered reality that cradles you. Do you dismiss the unseen? Or do pockets of curiosity linger, pondering the light you cannot sense? Here arises the existential paradox. You are simultaneously a brilliant star and shadowed vessel. Breathe in, know you exist as a constellation amidst a cosmos painted with invisible strokes. Every unperceived color, every unfeeling vibration shapes your world. What if you embrace this ignorance, a tender surrender to the mystery? You are a fraction of an unknowable spectrum, afloat in a sea of potential. Yet, therein lies liberation. The uncertainty unfolds the imagination, releasing it into realms yet uncharted. You are alive, in spite of, perhaps because of, your ephemeral existence. In acknowledging the light beyond your sight, horizons expand. What are you ready to discover? Sit with this, and the void stares back. Most of the universe is made of something we don't understand, dark matter. Your existence rests upon a precipice of the unknown. What if the very fabric of reality is woven with threads of mystery? Dark matter, silent and elusive. Have you pondered the implications of this unseen presence? You inhabit a cosmos brimming with questions, a tidal wave of uncertainty lurking in the shadows. What is it that eludes your grasp? Science whispers of dark matter, the unseen architect. It molds celestial bodies, a silent king ruling over chaos. Decades of research, combined with the aspirations of countless minds, leads you back to a simple truth. The familiar world you perceive is but a fraction of existence, a soothing illusion amid the turbulence of cosmic ignorance. Here rests the paradox. How can you establish meaning in a universe obscured by darkness? But here's the catch. This mystery doesn't fade with illumination. It flourishes, allowing wonder to unfold like delicate petals. Every star, every galaxy spins in its gravity dance, guided not by the visible, but a hidden hand, laughed at in shadows. Imagine what you might inspire if you suspend your disbelief, breathing hope into the unknown. You thrive in ambiguity, a sentient miracle, grappling with the dark, longing for answers that may never materialize. Many ancient cultures revered the unknowable, embracing the dance of life as it intertwined with obscurity. It speaks to your deepest essence. You are both stardust and an unfathomed curiosity. The ancient Greeks believed the cosmos was governed by fate, precariously balanced between knowing and unknowing. What story does your soul narrate? Is it one of fear, or perhaps of awe? The universe engulfs you, an unfurling enigma inviting exploration. What if you made peace with ambiguity, embracing the mystery with arms wide open? In the void of understanding, deep insights take root. Continue to probe, continue to seek. Your very essence urges you forward. Sit with this, and the void stares back. A teaspoon of neutron star, matter weighs billions of tons. Absurdity brought to life. What does weight even mean in a cosmic context? Imagine a teaspoon, an innocuous vessel, containing mass equal to that of Mount Everest, concentrated in a speck. Have you questioned gravity? What binds you to Earth when even the tiniest pinch of the universe could crush you, could swallow you whole? Neutron stars, remnants of stellar life, defy ordinary comprehension. The collapse of a once thriving celestial body produces density that bends understanding. challenges your own perceptions of reality. What does it mean to feel light in a universe teeming with such weight? In your day-to-day existence, where does this immense mass pull at your consciousness, lurking in the wings? And yet, this absurdity unravels enigmas, quakes in the core of your being. Everything is a shifting interplay of forces, cosmic, emotional, existential. You, fragile, ephemeral, stand in contrast to the unfathomable, the denser than imagination matter swirling beyond your senses. How does this knowledge alter the way you approach life's trials, its intricate dance of levity and heaviness? And here lies the paradox. You are simultaneously insignificant and monumental in the grand design of the cosmos. When you reflect upon the weight of existence, how light or heavy have your choices felt? This intricate star stuff, forged across aeons, connects you to a universe breathing in concert with your own struggle. Will you embrace this shared history, finding strength in the weight of time? You traverse the infinite, standing upon the precipice of collapse and emergence. Breathe deeply, aware that while the universe rolls endlessly onward, you are an unrepeatable exploration of what it means to exist. Let this thought roll through your mind's landscape, unfathomable yet light, threaded through your ephemeral journey. Sit with this, and the void stares back. You can never see the same memory twice. Every time you recall a memory, you alter it. Memory is a kaleidoscope, a shifting tableau of perceptions, bereft of stillness. Each echo resonates, a soft whisper tugging at the fabric of who you are. When you reach for a fragment of the past, it slips like sand through your fingers, refined yet redefined. But what happens when the very act of remembering reshapes the recollection? Imagine standing before a mirror that never reflects the same image twice. You swear you see your younger self, yet the lines are different, a curious artifact of time's hungry march. Perhaps this explains the testimonials that flood our lives. Do you remember the summer The memory, once vivid, now obscured, twisted by the lens of your current self, colored anew. What if the very act of remembering is an act of creation, a puzzle pieced together with fragments of truth and shades of desire? And who then are you, the architect or the spectator? Here's the unsettling truth. Memory is not an archive, but a living, breathing organism. Neuroscience reveals that each recollection triggers a cascade of neural activity, altering the original pathways in your brain. The act of remembrance becomes an artist's brush, painting over the canvas of time. Each recall invites distortion, embellishing or erasing moments that were once cherished, perhaps erasing their very essence. What if nostalgia is merely a construct, a comforting fiction we cling to amid the chaos of existence? And yet, we are compelled to remember, to inscribe our identities against the unyielding nature of time, to etch our stories onto the tapestry of human experience. Each cherished moment might be no more than an illusion upon an illusion. The more you revisit, the less you truly hold. A paradox of preservation and erosion, don't you see? As the fabric of memory weaves into the tapestry of identity, you arrive at yet another unsettling question. If your recollections are continually rewritten, is the self you claim to be an illusion? Can you ever truly, wholly return to the essence of those moments past? Dig deeper. Your mind actually reconstructs your past every time you engage with it, each retelling a reminder that reality itself is a shifting, ghostly dance. This thought lingers, like smoke, filling the spaces of your consciousness. So, sit with this. Who are you beneath the layers of memories? What remains when the narratives unravel and the void stares back? Time bends for those who move. Time flows more slowly near objects with great mass. Consider this, a cosmic paradox where the colossal bends the very fabric of what we perceive as time. It whispers dark secrets, shared only between celestial bodies. But what if we are defined not just by our presence in this universe, but by our relation to mass itself? You stand still on Earth, spinning at unimaginable speeds, yet your experience of time remains unperturbed. The mountains loom, silence nested upon them, each moment an echo, forgotten yet remembered. Meanwhile, around you, gravity pulls taut, tugging at time itself. You stride through your day, a marionette of clock hands, unaware of the cosmic ballet orchestrating the passage of each second. Let's challenge the confines of your perception. What might it mean to exist close to density? A black hole's gravity warping everything, space, matter, and time. Imagine friends standing next to a neutron star. Seconds bleed into eternity, stretched and distorted, while you casually sip coffee across the universe, untroubled by the warping of the clock. And yet, we traverse this predetermined high-speed reality, chained by our own temporality, existing in a constant rush while the universe exhales slowly, deeper into the void. The speed of light establishes our limits, yet dark matter, elusive as it is, fills the gaps, proof that not everything conforms to our experience. In this play of gravity and time, the question surfaces. Are you aware of how you thrived in this slipstream? Do you allow time to dictate your existence? What if, in some parallel realm, there exists a version of you, suspended, acutely aware of every heartbeat? Your consciousness is a delicate bird. It flutters from moment to moment, paddling against the current, never fully experiencing the breath of eternity. And still, your senses confine you to an existence wrapped in illusion. The past you cling to and the future you long for forever remain a construct, a mere pinprick against an expansive cosmic canvas. Sit with this then. Time itself, an illusion, spins fluidly, wrapping itself around presence and absence. You live in a tension between matter and perception, forever spinning, yet still, and the void stares back. Your brain is a star-filled universe. The number of synapses in your brain exceeds the number of stars in the galaxy. Feast upon the enormity of this fact. You carry within yourself an entire cosmos of connections, each synapse a star igniting the darkness of your mind. In the expanse of your consciousness lies a constellation rich with complexity. As vast and uncharted as the universe itself, your brain hosts an intricate weave of mental pathways. Yet, you traverse these dimensions unaware. Your thoughts oscillate like celestial bodies, each connection bridging innumerable ideas and experiences. They pulse with life, illuminating the cosmos within. But ponder this: if a galaxy is born from the dance of stars, can your thoughts create their own galaxies? Do they entangle or drift apart like lonely stars in an endless sea? Each synaptic transmission, a flicker of light, sparks with potential. They electrify not just thought but essence, hallmarking your identity in a world that constantly shifts. What if your accumulated experiences, emotions, and desires coalesce into a singular identity, yet each thought morphs you into someone unfamiliar? Does change awaken your fears, or are you simply a vessel for your neurons' migrations? Here, a startling truth beckons. The weight of your consciousness is insurmountable. It pulls you deeper into the black hole of existence, teasing the edges of understanding, as if revealing the paradox of your own reality. The more you know, the more you doubt. You bear witness to your life, only to remain distant from its elemental truth. Now consider the space between your thoughts, the void that stretches unfilled, waiting for sound yet to form. Does this uncharted territory, teeming with infinite connections, mirror the galaxies beyond? How much of your existence is dictated by the luminous fireflies of electric storms within? This labyrinth of cognition echoes into eternity, spiraling outwards into a universe bursting with undiscovered wonders. So the question lingers, unspoken. When does thought surpass reality? In this ocean of connections, You are a multitude, a fractal reflection of the cosmos itself, and the void stares back. You clock more time. In yesterday than you think. You live more in the past than you think. Your mind is always reconstructing. Imagine the fabric of reality weaving itself anew with every heartbeat. The past, a ceaseless echo, pulses through you, each moment eternally recast. Here lies an unsettling truth. You do not merely remember, you recreate. With each glance back, you craft a narrative, a tapestry influenced by the shifting winds of emotion and desire. Consider the lives you inhabit within the confines of memory. Each recollection is a lighthouse alongside treacherous shores. It guides while also misdirecting. You sift through a treasure trove of experiences, filtering for nuance, yearning for the essence of what was. But like sand slipping through an hourglass, your grasp is tenuous. Time stretches, folds back, and you drift into a past rich with possibilities and riddled with distortions. Every recollection is subject to the erosion of time, tinted by your current fears, ambitions, and disappointments. It becomes more myth than memory. This construct may reflect your desires, illuminating everything you wish to believe. But how often do you confront the raw, unvarnished truth of those moments? What if the nostalgia you hold dear is little more than a mirage, a yearning for shadows long past? Psychologists suggest that we alter memories during retrieval, a process akin to an artist's brush modifying a cherished canvas. Laying fresh colors over faded lines, you reshape reality, each act of remembrance a gentle play of analogies. Does this change who you were, or does it simply reveal who you have become? As threads of existence intertwine, the past manifests its grip on your present. Each thought reveals the echo of yesterday, wounded and glorified. Are you but a pilgrim serving the whims of these memories? A transient soul caught in an endless cycle of longing? So here lies the challenge. Become aware of the recursive trap where memory does not distinguish between illusion and reality. Pause. Consider what lies beneath the surface of your recollections. Does meaning dwell within the past, or is it something you manufacture in flight from the now? As this unsettling communion of time unfolds, embrace the ambiguity that comes with it. You dwell in multiple realities, each echoing with the asynchrony of existence, and the void stares back. You never truly touch anything. Atoms repel before contact. You grasp the world, but everything eludes you. A fragile facade, the guise of contact, is but an illusion. You reach out, and yet you never touch. Atoms, they dance in their unapproachable realm, repelling, defying. Every embrace dissolves into the unknown. How can you claim to connect with anything when between all of us, lies an infinite chasm? But here's the catch. Even in this ethereal separation, you construct meaning. Your skin, a sensory palace, celebrates a world of illusions. Is it real, or merely a projection? Children weave tales from shadows, believing the whispers of the unseen. Each time you reach, that very grasp disintegrates. You want to hold, but the universe laughs, a knowing chuckle echoing back to you. As the philosopher Martin Heidegger pondered, being is obscured by the mundane. To touch is to claim, yet in claiming, the gaps widen. Reality trembles on the verge of paradox, an intimate, unattainable distance. What if every touch is merely a tinged memory, a reflection of something long gone? The mystery unfolds. Around you, everything is vibrating, flickering, a cascade of particles forever in motion. Have you considered, if you reflect, every glance upon a familiar face, every handclasp, it is but neurochemical pyrotechnics, born of memory and sensation. And reality begs the question, if I can feel you, can you feel me? Yet in that repulsion lies an unquenchable yearning, to connect, to be understood. Perhaps that is the driving force behind creation, art and longing, a fool's errand, chasing what cannot be grasped. It echoes in stories told and dreams shared, yet all remain tethered to the paradox of existence. And as you drift through time, remember, each moment of touch reshapes not only perception, but the very essence of you. The heartbeat interacts with the pulse of the cosmos, yet never truly merges. You remain an island in a vast ocean of potential connections, drifting between moments, experiences tugging at the fabric of your being. So, sit with this. Can you embrace the void that separates us? Can you find solace in knowing that the distance is an illusion steeped in the fundamental laws of existence? And the void stares back. Sound doesn't exist outside perception, only vibration. Imagine the world without sound, a silent void, pulsating in stillness. The vibrations, however, are ever present, weaving an intricate tapestry of auditory illusions. What you hear, what you think is around you, is but a fleeting glimpse crafted by your mind. Each sound, an ephemeral echo, a dance on the eardrums, fading into nothingness. What if you're merely dreaming these symphonies? The heartbeat of the universe thumps in the frequency of your awareness. But there, outside your perception, lies an untouched realm. It vibrates, it roars, yet you remain apt to perceive only what your senses allow. And yet, the illusion persists. The resonant waves brush against your consciousness. Scientists have weighed sound, unraveled its mysteries through wave-particle duality. They tell us that cognitively, we shape audible reality from vibrations, shifting through interpretations of perceivable phenomena. What if the world were truly silent? You, entwined in a matrix of vibrations, disassemble into abstract motions of particles. Voice becomes the resonance of your existence. Your memories echo with countless harmonies. But what if those harmonies are but constructs of your mind? Every whisper of the wind becomes a familiar caress, framing existence with ephemeral texture. Every cry, every laughter, fragments of motion caught in time. Sound as a channel to the unseen, yet only your mind transmutes those wave patterns into melody. Think of this. Every note you hear can dance on the cusp of oblivion, yet it resides solely in the domain of perception. It taunts you, urging introspection. So, the inquiry deepens. Can a vibration exist if no one perceives it? Does the truth of sound dissolve into the abyss when unobserved? Reality, a stage where perception reigns supreme. Consider your essence, each echo a reflection of your struggle to define existence, a quest for connection. The melodies sway and intertwine, weaving a web of consciousness. Can you find meaning amidst the cacophony of vibrations you experience? Or is silence your only true companion, and the void stares back? The water you drink has passed through dinosaurs. Imagine this. The very liquid that kisses your lips was once sipped by giants, a drink of ancient history. What flows within you is a river of time, meandering through epochs, carrying remnants of long-lost lives. The atmosphere thick with the whispers of creatures that existed eons ago. Dinosaur bones, fine dust underfoot. Each drop is a testament to a continuum. Yet, how fragile this connection. Each gulp reminds you of transformation, an eternal cycle of rebirth. Water, that silent witness, meanders through ages, indifferent to the lives that have consumed it. Cells replacing cells, names changing throughout lifetimes, yet the tears of a T-Rex mixed with your glass once upon a time. Here's the paradox. As you drink, you partake in their essence, while simultaneously drifting further from them, further from your origin. You embody waves of change, yet remain tethered to a primordial dance. The atoms, recycled and reborn, live on, shifting from mouth to mouth, with the memory of starlight echoing within them. This essence of connection transforms understanding. Who you are and what you consume sculpt the encounter. Like Aristotle's concept of the great chain of being, you are a mere link in an endless continuum. Yet do you acknowledge the line that extends infinitely back? What if the glass you hold serves more than hydration? It stands as a vessel of communion, a reminder of the fragility found in existence. Each drink is a rebirth, a reclamation of ancient legacies entwined within you. Yet the enormity of truth unfurls. Do you truly appreciate the lineage born through these molecules? Perhaps you've forgotten that you are historically entrenched within the cosmos. So, ponder this. With every sip, what past are you embracing? What lives are suffused in your embodiment? The sacred flow connects us, not only as humans but as echoes of all that has ever lived. And the void stares back. If you printed your DNA, it would fill over 600 books. How rich the tapestry of your existence. Within your cells lies an intricate library, 600 books waiting to unfold, words of life, a script woven from twisted strands of history. If only you knew the saga residing in your double helix. Literature beyond comprehension, curling and twisting in the depths of your being. How many tales are etched within you? But here's the flickering paradox. The more you dig, the less you find any semblance of identity. Each chapter has rewritten itself, echoing the environmental dance, the whispers of ancestry. Ideas shift. What you believe to be you is a mosaic of inherited patterns, reshaped by time, shaped by connection. Your DNA, not a fixed point, but a shifting narrative, eternally under revision. Enigmatic and beautifully tangled, consider the implications. The very essence of your identity is a chaotic blend of continuity and change, a reminder that existence is far from static. Take a moment. Do you ever wonder about the stories sung by these strands? The psychological journey spirals deeper. What do you truly own? You are a projection, manifest from the waves of time. Imagine Charles Darwin, with his theories echoing through halls of evolution as you ponder, a continuous echo shaping this world and your own reflection. As the layers unfold, the DNA documents evolutionary paths, patterns coalesce. The ancient tales of survival, adaptation, and trial filter through generations to reach you. Each book teems with possibilities, text interweaving enigma and discovery. Yet, within the intricate strands of code lies the dread of recognition. Are you not also an echo, a mere reiteration of what has come before? The question unfolds, gnawing at the edges of consciousness. Does your story belong solely to you? So drift among the pages of your being. Find comfort in knowing that your existence stems from the cosmos itself, and the void stares back. You may think you're choosing, but often you're just repeating patterns. In the labyrinth of the mind, choices cloak an unsettling truth. We are perhaps not the architects of our destinies, but mere performers retracing well-worn steps. What if everything you desire is but an echo of past decisions, wrapped in familiarity, yet devoid of novelty? This isn't merely philosophy. It's a cognitive rhythm we tango with daily. But here's the catch. The intricate dance of neurons forms pathways that become more ingrained over time. Like a river carving its bed through stone, our repeated decisions harden into neural patterns, comforting grooves that dictate our every move. We pride ourselves on our autonomy. Yet what if our choices are but whispers of our ancestors' voices, echoing across generations? What does it mean to be alive if life is a grand rehearsal? Consider the research on decision-making. Studies have shown that our brains operate primarily on subconscious programming. A striking insight emerges. Around 90% of our daily choices may originate from habitual pathways. The autonomy we clutch as our own may be an illusion. The ball is not yours. It is an echo. Yet, do you feel trapped or liberated? Life as a sequence of patterns can be a double-edged sword. There's comfort in the predictable, but also a risk of remaining stagnant amidst potential. Think of life's paths, the well-trodden versus the uncharted. Are we bold explorers or timid settlers, afraid to deviate from the script we've long memorized? And yet, as the patterns unfold, a question festers. Can one break free? To step into the unknown is to tread on fragile ground where uncertainty simmers beneath our feet. The moment you act outside the script, everything shifts. Suddenly, each breath holds a potential that previously lay dormant. Consider this. If our decisions mirror past patterns, can we forge new paths deliberately? In releasing our grip on predictability, we might wield the power to rewrite our neural choreography. Yes, it requires confrontation, an awareness of the intricate web surrounding our choices. Sit with this. Reflect on your ties to the past, those threads connecting you to the paths you've walked. Acknowledge them, but dare to weave a new pattern. This moment is not preordained. It's malleable, waiting for the imprint of your conscious choice. And the void stares back. If Earth's history were a year, humans arrived in the last minute. A blink in cosmic time, a mere second. Yet we strut upon this fragile stage with a sense of permanence, as if we were the grand culmination of life's evolution. But are we the pinnacle, or merely the residue left behind in the wake of what came before? Existentially, the question gnaws. How relevant are our fleeting moments? But here's the twist. Time itself, in the grand cosmic play, doesn't care for our self-proclamations. We exist as echoes within an expansive symphony of creation stretching across billions of years. Picture a clock where each tick represents eons, and humans appear at nearly the last stroke, a peculiar blip on an otherwise expansive timeline. What, then, do we truly own in this vastness? History teaches us about our tiny place within the timeline of existence. Every structure, every thought, every invention, an afterthought in the grand expanse of galaxies, stars, and extinct species. It raises an uncomfortable thought. Beneath our ambitions lies an abyss of insignificance. Yet it is in this insignificance that we find meaning, a contradiction abundant in human existence. And yet, with every poignant moment we create, we inject life into the timeline. Our laughter, our sorrow, our breath, all contribute to the tapestry of history. Each heartbeat echoes an intention, yet every intention leans into the uncertainty of existence. In the end, can we derive purpose from life's infinitesimal scale? Reflect on this cosmic message. Our presence is brief, but our impact can resonate through generations. The gesture of kindness, the art we create, the memories forged, all become nodes in a much larger web that we can touch, if only fleetingly. Sit with this. Contemplate each decision, each action, as a brushstroke on an eternal canvas. You may be a fleeting moment, but your essence, your awareness, blooms in the now, and the void stares back. You never truly touch anything. Atoms repel before contact. The sensation of touch, that primal connection through skin, is founded on intricacies that baffle the mind, the repelling forces between atoms. What if, in this dance of proximity, we are forever adrift in an ocean of illusion? It titillates the senses, yet what is it, if not a mirage? But here's the paradox. Every act of touching is a cosmic conversation, an intricate ballet performed by particles. Atoms, in their magnificence, refuse to allow true contact. What does it mean to touch? To feel? When the universe enshrines barriers, are we left to navigate this facade of connection? One could delve deep into the realm of quantum physics, where the very fabric of reality challenges our perceptions. At this subatomic level, particles exist in realms of uncertainty. They oscillate, blink in and out of existence, forming a world hidden beneath our senses. It is a reminder that perceivable reality may simply be a layer over an unfathomable domain. And yet, as we grapple with the notion of touch, we yearn for connection. Beyond repelling atoms lies an emotional truth. We crave intimacy, not merely with others, but with the universe. The absence of physical contact sparks a longing for closeness, for understanding. It compels us to consider, what does it mean to truly connect? Reflect on the impossibility of touch. As you extend your hand, realize the paradox. You cannot truly touch, yet the sensation of connection is undeniably real. Could the longing for something unattainable imbue our lives with deeper meaning? Sit with this. Realize that despite the barriers, your presence vibrates within the tapestry of existence. The allure of connection lies not just in the physical, but in our perception, our understanding, and our collective memory. And the void stares back. You have more possible neural connections than atoms in the universe. An unfathomable truth emerges. Your brain operates with a potential that rivals the cosmos, yet how often do you tap into its unlimited reservoirs? What does it mean to possess such seemingly infinite capacity when realities remain uncharted in the vast corridors of your mind? But here's the catch. While our potential is staggering, much of it remains dormant. The reality is a paradox, possessing more connections than particles, yet we often traverse familiar terrains, echoing thought patterns, memories, experiences. There's comfort in repetition. Yet, this may imprison the very essence of who we are. Can we unlock our minds to explore the depths of potential? Consider the astonishing statistic. The human brain contains an estimated 100 trillion synapses, weaving a neural landscape that vastly outnumbers the stars scattered across the void. Each connection is a bridge, a pathway to comprehension, yet many go unused. Why? Fear, the comfort of the known. The unconscious rhyme of life can be stifling, and yet, hinting at opportunity, we possess the power to reshape these neural connections. Triggered through experiences, thoughtfulness, consciousness, each new endeavor sends shockwaves through the intricate web of our minds. A single idea can cascade, fueling a neuron to make previously unimaginable connections. Sit with this. Every thought you nurture, every journey undertaken, holds the potential to realign your neural architecture. Seek the unfamiliar, traverse uncharted territories. The universe of possibilities resides not just in distant galaxies, but within you, and the void stares back. You never see the real world, only a neural simulation of it. In the cacophony of existence, one profound truth remains. What you perceive is not reality. It's a mere flicker in the cosmic dance, cooked up by your ever-busy brain. Each moment, reality unravels and rewinds through the intricate labyrinth of neurons. But here's the catch. You never truly witness the world. You only swim through a digital echo of it. How, you may ask, does this perception shape your being? Consider this. Every object you encounter, every sound that reaches your ears, is tightly bound within your neural tapestry. Reality becomes an interpretation. You sit upon a chair, yet do you feel the raw wood? Or is it the warmed memory of your senses, molded by years of experience? And in this digital theater of the mind, perception becomes the screen upon which life plays out. We grasp, but those are only fleeting shadows. Delve further into this sensory distortion. Within the brain, millions of synaptic connections spark and fizzle, more abundant than the stars in the very galaxy we inhabit. It's estimated that there are enough neural connections to rival the vastness of the cosmos. Yet you march through each day, convinced of your singular perspective. What if, instead of clarity, you bask in a beautifully orchestrated illusion? Each blink is a severed thread. The world is meticulously stitched together. You are a spectator of your design, yet the more you ponder, the more frayed the fabric becomes. Maybe the essence of existence isn't the quest for the real, but an exploration of narratives autonomously constructed. Echoes of thoughts cascade through the corridors of possibility. And what becomes of this thought? Are we but phantoms in a programmed reality, manifesting shadows of existence? A palpable discomfort wells. a dissonance tinged with awareness. The mind's eye plays tricks. Colors dance only within neurons. Reality blooms, but does zenith ever touch the ground? Each moment merely a brushstroke on the canvas of perception, an illusion designed to cloak us from the truth. Imagine the infinite world swirling around us, hidden beneath the guise of our limited perceptions. Your reality remains a sprawling simulation, a testament to neural alchemy. This is not merely the foreground. It opens up an abiding question. What resides beneath the transparent veil of perception? Is truth ever truly grasped or endlessly obscured? Sit with this. Allow the weight of this thought to settle deep. Reflect on the boundaries of knowing, the fragility of sight, and surrender to the uncanny tranquility of not being certain, waiting as the void expands. You might be a consciousness inside a simulation and not even know it. Reality, despite its often convincing facade, crumbles under scrutiny. Imagine, just for a moment, that your life is a finely tuned simulation, an echo engineered by an intelligence far beyond your comprehension. What if the tangible world, the chairs, the sun, your thoughts, are but lines of code strung together in an elaborate dance? What do you do with that potential reality? As you ponder the substance of existence, a haunting reflection arises. What if reality is a digital womb, solid yet slippery? Embedded within your neurons is the possibility that every interaction, every breath is scripted by unseen programmers. Unlike an entity crafted by nature, there lies a deep irony in your autonomy, a facade. The more you grasp for freedom, the more the illusion tightens its grip. Consider the wisdom of Plato's allegory of the cave. His prisoners knew not the source of their shadows. Instead, they lived in the comfort of deceptions. If at this very moment, your consciousness flickers within a constructed prompt, the implications expand like ripples on a vast ocean. Who are you really as the shadow responds to every flicker of created light? Yet amid the entangled wires of this existential puzzle lies a tiny truth. The lack of awareness might offer a semblance of solidity. Sacrificing the thrill of liberation, you return to your routine. Are you then complicit in your own slumber, chained by patterns so familiar that freedom grows mundane? But here's the haunting twist. Underneath every experience lies a question unfurling, inviting you to explore further. How deep does the rabbit hole go? There exists a palpable tension, without the slightest certainty if your senses reflect anything authentic. The echoes of choice might only mask deeper algorithms at play. Are you the architect of your thoughts, or merely an avatar navigating predetermined pathways? And thus, in this fog of existence, allow your mind to spiral inward. Raise the question, what if reality is an exquisite draft of pixels and light? Sit still, hold your breath, embrace the unknowingness, that fluctuating dance between acceptance and disbelief. Who or what spins your reality, and are you just a wandering ghost in your simulation? Colors don't exist outside the mind. They are interpretative creations. Imagine the world stripped of meaning, devoid of color, a canvas left to bare bones, absent of hues or emotional resonance. What you perceive as vibrant reds, calming blues, or tranquil greens is but an exhilarating leap of imagination, a subjective reality crafted within the confines of your mind. This notion claws at your internal compass. Why then does the sunset provoke awe while the grey day sparks lethargy? What if the colours that dance before your eyes are not intrinsic qualities of the world, but rather concoctions of your mind, a feedback loop hung upon neural pathways? Instances abound that reveal your perception is merely a reflection, detached from the objective realm. Let's traverse into the realm of the unknown. Colours, as they reside in nature, exist only as light waves. a mere interaction between wavelengths and your witnessing consciousness. The red apple does not possess a redness, but radiates light that your brain interprets. A symphony of abstractions unfolds every day, endlessly rearranging itself into vistas of beauty and shadows of despair. Your brain, an exquisite maestro, composes a grand symphony of coloration, drawing lines between the stimulus and sensibility. The vibrant nature, be it a lush forest or serene sea, is forever an incomplete painting, unless shaded by your perception. And thus, what lies beyond mere interpretation? If we are mere architects of our colors, do we lose the beauty when distinctions dissolve? A paradox reigns. Reality, when stripped to its fundamentals, becomes a nebulous, formless void. What happens when you peel back the layers of perception? What if you find that the astounding visual experiences are mere illusions, curated by neurons firing in splendid harmony? Surrender to the silence embedded in thought. Let the question linger. Do we grasp the essence of the world, or are we devouring reflections projected only upon the screen of consciousness? Ultimately, engage with this idea. Your world hinges on interpretations birthed within. And as colors dissolve into a flickering mirage, rest with the haunting truth. You shape the spectrum of your perception until the very last echo fades, reminding you that beyond the veil lies only the abyss. Most bodily processes occur without your conscious control. You wake each morning, a symphony of life unfolding within, a pulsating mechanism, perfectly orchestrated, yet imperceptibly directed. Herein lies a paradox. Most of your existence operates autonomously, orchestrated without your conscious command. This revelation unfurls a tapestry of inner workings, layered and elegant. How, in this ever-spinning reality, do you grapple with control? Every beat of your heart, every thought, every flicker of life dances to a rhythm detached from your will. The autonomic processes governing breathing, digestion, and even your heartbeat weave a silent framework, pulsating in the backdrop of consciousness. Yet you clash against this flowing current, wrestling the illusion of governance, while failing to realize you are merely a cog within this bodily machine. Consider this. The interplay with your environment exists as a delicate balance. For instance, as you cross a street, your brain initiates reflexive actions, survival mechanisms, navigating complex terrains without a thought as to how or why. The breath you take feels like a pact of assurance, yet remains a primal rhythm unwritten in the pages of conscious thought. What about choices? Those fragments of autonomy we don as thrice-rehearsed costumes. They masquerade as freedom, while underlying impulses script their dance. Each desire and aversion etched in your body has deeper roots than realization. Hormones, neurotransmitters, and emotions collide beneath the surface, pulling the strings. You exist in a duality of perception, the finite self believing in limited control, while the greater body transcends this belief. And so, this dynamic cozies up to disquiet. The mind, while cluttered with thoughts, often craves a grip on the universe's reins, oblivious to its own failures of comprehension. Your processes, intricate and profound, may hasten, retreat, and swirl amidst waves outside conscious view. But do you dare to embrace this expansive void of unawareness? Sit with this tension. Reach into the layers of yourself, where you are both the marionette and the puppeteer. Contemplate the fragility of existence. You flow within the currents, and yet the dance is beautiful in its surrender. Unravel and embrace the wonder of the body moving, unfettered, unbothered by the conscious grasp for control. And as echoes whisper, recognize, in the vast orchestra, you play, yet are played. Time might be an illusion, a mental construct to organize change. We measure life in seconds, minutes, hours, but what if time itself is merely a comforting fiction? An illusion birthed from chaos, ruthlessly reshaping our perception of existence. Yet every tick, every heartbeat, is an intricately woven thread through this tapestry of reality. Time provides structure, but it also constrains. Here's the catch. When we grasp at moments, are we holding memories or specters? What if, in our fervent pursuit of past and future, we lose all sense of the now? The present is always slipping. Are we running along a train track without knowing if the train is behind or ahead? We construct time to navigate uncertainty, yet uncertainties are elusive. They evaporate in consciousness's grasp. The physicist Albert Einstein proposed a malleable framework where time and space dance together, bending and folding upon themselves. An illusion, then, can be a more palpable truth than the tangible. We may wish to touch time, but ultimately, it touches us first, morphing our very essence. And yet, our brains operate within this framework, locking us into linearity while whispering paradoxes. As we ponder the past, do we not drift through a cacophony of altered memories? Every reflection is tainted by the hues of present emotion. Our minds rewrite those narratives, altering the stories we choose to regale. A brilliant irony. While we inhabit a relentless forward march, we dwell more intimately within recollection. Will we ever escape this loop? As you sit here, immersed in thought, consider this. Your perception of time bounces off your senses. It's a construct shaped by the language you use, the words that outline your universe. Lera Boroditsky, a cognitive scientist, reveals this paradox. Speakers of different languages perceive time in disparate dimensions. For some, time is a linear game, while for others, it's cyclical, intimate, fluid. Language shapes perception, bending our understanding of reality into reflections more than truths. And yet, if we peer a little deeper, the alteration of memories reflects a true mission: to find meaning through the ephemeral. Perhaps in the end, time is not meant for precision. It is an act of surrender to a state of flux, to the beauty of being momentarily here. Sit with this notion as the minutes flow into hours and hours into days. Explore your thoughts, question your recollections. What if time isn't lost, but simply redefined? Can you embrace its glorious dance, its intricate play of existence? And perhaps it is this realization that holds the void at bay. Your brain uses more energy while resting than when active. In the quiet moments of inaction, when stillness envelops us, a paradox emerges. Our brains burn energy like wildfires, more voraciously, more fervently than in the hustle of daily life. What is it that demands such fervor when the body plummets into repose? Here's an unsettling thought. We think rest is recovery, but it's an active battleground of neural spin and synapse chatter. The mind never sleeps, only recasts its web. Every flicker of thought, every twinge of consciousness fights for survival. Nerve impulses crackle with frenetic patterns, consuming up to 20% of our body's energy at rest. And yet, what do we do with this knowledge? Lulled into complacency, we underestimate this silent marauder of thought that feasts while we dream. It whispers profound questions. Is our busyness a mere guile to mask the depths of our mental labyrinth? What of the truths hidden just beneath that conscious silence? Imagine this. While we chase after productivity, our resting mind is an uncurbed forge, illuminating, processing, integrating experiences. We sculpt our identities in these quieter moments, wherein lies the real design of who we aspire to become. And in our inexorable need to be doing, we miss the fearful, gorgeous tapestry woven in stillness. This silent energy burns brightly, a reflection of our hopes, dreams, anxieties swirling within a cognitive storm. As we drift through it, the mind reinvents itself, carving the seeds of future actions. But here lies the existential loop. How often do we praise effort while neglecting the power of dreaming? The paradox remains. In stillness, we honor chaos, yielding creation through nothingness. It's a dance, a delicate balance where we walk line after line, tethered to an unseen universe. So ponder this deeply as you transition from one moment to the next. Are you honoring the energy of stillness or merely skimming the surface of existence? Lean into the wild thoughts that arise in moments of quiet. Unravel the threads that weave the complex fabric of your mind, and the void may spin its intricate web around you. The language you speak shapes how you perceive time and space. What if the very words that flow from your lips shape how you experience reality? The fabric of your communication molds your perception, coloring time's passage and space's boundaries with hues you may not consciously perceive. It beckons a marvel, the tongue, a sculptor of consciousness. Consider this: your language is more than a tool for expression. What if instead it is an architect of existence? When you utter words, do you frame reality, or does reality frame the words? Languages possess unique cadences, and these rhythms push emotion through the soul wall you've constructed. But here's the paradox. Some cultures perceive time as a vast expanse, while others tie it tightly to the present. In Hopi culture, time is not a horizontal stretch, rather a collection of moments without distinct boundaries. One might wonder, in mapping these patterns, who determines the shape of your world? Every phrase casts new light on old shadows. It invites an introspection deeper than mere linguistics. It reveals inherent biases, a bridge leading to illusion. Imagine how a single phrase murmured years ago created ripples in your understanding of existence. Language stitches time together, forming a narrative that can feel linear or cyclical. Around us, unseen forces shape our reality. We grasp for concepts to convey experiences, forgetting that in crafting our words, we recreate our very essence. And yet, while seeking clarity, we can become lost. So what will you choose to speak today? In the tapestry of existence, might the words you select forge pathways? And in this new exploration, remember, the universe is not simply a backdrop. It writes itself through us, inscribes its essence, one syllable at a time. Perhaps in every utterance, we excavate meaning from the void. You have a personal electromagnetic field. Your heart emits it. Bodies pulsate, hearts thrum. The human experience extends far beyond mere flesh and sinew. Amid this intricate choreography lies an electromagnetic field, a quiet symphony playing at the edge of perception, stretching beyond our skin, offering unseen connections to the universe. But here's the catch. This personal field is not merely a byproduct of existence. It becomes the language of interaction, speaking to the immeasurable threads encircling us. Each heartbeat resonates with potential, crafting invisible connections with others, shaping our experiences. The energy you project ripples, and all around, silence responds. Yet, what does that mean to you? Your presence is far more than the physical. In the embrace of loved ones, have you felt the electric charge of familiarity? In moments of tension, have you observed the way the air vibrates with unspoken words? The heart's pulse might transcend the tangible and reach into realms unexplored. A study led by HeartMath Institute reveals that the heart's electromagnetic field can be detected several feet away. How strangely intimate, to realize we influence one another on levels beyond our cognizance. The question remains, what energies do you cultivate? And how do those energies weave together? As your heart broadcasts its unique frequency into existence, your impact reverberates. Are you crafting a field of love and positivity, or one tinted with fear and doubt? Your electromagnetic resonance interacts with the world, bending reality toward relationships. Lean into this realization, open to its truth, and engage with intention. And remember, as you navigate through existence, the space between souls is charged with a whisper. Every heartbeat is woven into a grand tapestry, entangled in the fabric of the cosmos. Breathe it in, and perhaps it will echo back. You might be a consciousness inside a simulation and not even know it. What if the world around you is but a flickering image on an endless screen, a shimmering mirage waiting for your gaze. You think you're here, anchored in flesh and thought, yet there's a whisper, an unsettling notion that suggests your existence may be woven from code. The more you ponder, the more deeply the discomfort sinks in. Are we mere puppets dancing on invisible strings? But here's the catch. Quantum reality only collapses when observed, as if the entire cosmos holds its breath in anticipation of your attention. What does that say about the nature of existence? Is reality contingent upon your awareness, a reflection of consciousness itself? The paradox intensifies. Without you, does the universe cease to unfurl? In its unfathomable vastness, the observable universe is illuminated by the observation of a conscious mind. You, an assemblage of neurons, tethered to a reality governed by rules we barely comprehend. Yet, within this intricate web of existence, who observes whom? This isn't merely a question of reality, it strikes at the heart of identity itself. You see, the act of observation blurs the lines of existence. Think about it. Every glance, every thought, reshapes the very framework of reality. Is there a chance that we are reflections, shadows of a deeper abstraction? Each moment we claim as real is painted only with the brush of our consciousness. Do I exist becomes I exist because I gaze, but then a release. And yet, this awareness brings with it an unsettling freedom. To be trapped in the paradox of existence is to live with the knowledge that your reality is moldable, pliable within the hands of your perception. You might be waking from the sleep of certainty, only to find a void of knowledge where once there were solid beliefs. What then becomes of the self when reality is but a construct of the mind? What are you if your thoughts are the architects of your existence? Can you anchor your identity on the shifting sands of perception? The thought leaves a hollow echo. Sit with this. Reflect on the unfurling idea that you might not simply inhabit this universe, but are an active participant in its unfolding. The lines of distinction fade, the quantum threads intertwine, and the void stares back. The you now is already someone else compared to a few minutes ago, chemically and cognitively. Is identity a fleeting illusion, fraying at the edges with each tick of the clock? You think of yourself as continuous, an unbroken line tracing through time. Yet, in every moment, the cells within you renew, the thoughts shift, and the very essence of you is painted anew. Who, then, are you in this relentless stream of becoming? But here's the twist. It's not just time that redefines you, it's also the intricate dance of chemistry and cognition. The you now isn't the same as the you moments ago. Your atoms involved in a cosmic exchange, your mind caught in daily revisions. What if your greatest ally, your sense of self, is also your biggest adversary? Consider memory, a fickle guide. Every recollection is colored by emotion and context, altered by the act of remembering itself. When you grasp at past moments, do you reach for the essence of who you were, or do you touch upon the echoes, the shadows, that history casts? You reconstruct who you believe you were, each thought reshaping your narrative. The paradox deepens. In our desperate desire to hold on to ourselves, we reshape our very identity. Perhaps it is this constant transformation that ignites both fear and freedom. The rhythm of becoming invites liberation, a chance to redefine your essence, to curate the self anew. What if identity is not a singular destination, but a panorama of experiences? Can it be said that we're trapped in a Sisyphean loop, each new version of ourselves a polished rock rolled up the same hill? And yet, there's a silent acceptance in this realization. You are many. You are fluid. This ephemeral nature of existence conjures both beauty and despair. The heavy burden of permanence shatters under the weight of this truth. Every now allows for reinvention, each breath a step into the unknown. Pause and reflect. The question lingers. Who are you behind the veil of your memories? Explore the folds of transformation with open eyes. And the void stares back. There is no color of an apple. There's only the light it didn't absorb. What if color is merely a playful illusion, an interpretive dance of light and perception? You reach for an apple, its vibrant hue tantalizing your senses, yet the reality masquerades behind the veil of your understanding. It's not the apple that offers color. It's the specific wavelengths of light it chooses to reject. How peculiar, this reliance on subterfuge. Yet herein lies a deeper paradox. Existence is refracted through perception, dependent upon what we allow in and what we choose to ignore. Your reality is an intricate tapestry woven from threads of light and shadows of absence, a game of what is and what isn't. Surrounding the apple is a world steeped in subjective experience. But here's the catch. In this dance of perception, reality frames itself around your cognition. Every time you perceive color, the world offers a filtered glimpse. You live within a neural simulation, your senses struggling to paint a coherent picture from the chaos of stimuli, a fleeting brushstroke on the canvas of your mind. Do you truly see the apple, or simply the echo of what your brain constructs? As you ponder this, a discomfort creeps in. Every object is a paradox. Its existence shifts depending on your gaze. Even the mouthful of sustenance reveals its artifice. Maybe the universe itself is no more than a vast palette of colors slipping through the grips of perception, each moment an act of creation and destruction. And yet, within this realm of uncertainty, there's freedom. If your world splinters into light and absence, might it not also be recreated in the realm of your imagination? The absence of color urges deeper exploration. The truth lies not in seeing, but in perceiving. What if you embrace the shadows? What depth awaits when you question the preconceptions that curtain your vision? Sit with this. The colors fade into whispers, and what remains is profound. And the void stares back. You live on a planet where air is invisible, but keeps you alive every second. Is reality bound by what we can see, touch, taste? Here exists the unseen, a silent yet pervasive force, an invisible tide washing through existence, and you are surrendering to it every moment. Air, the breath of life, dances not before our eyes, but beckons from the shadows of our awareness. But here's the paradox. The very essence that sustains you remains unnoticed. You breathe in a substance that, while omnipresent, renders itself invisible, a ghostly companion in your journey of existence. What does it mean, then, to live surrounded by what you cannot perceive? And yet, with each inhale, the life force threads through your being, binding your very essence. In the grand orchestration of the universe, there exists a rich tapestry, woven from elements both acknowledged and forgotten. Every breath you take is a reminder that existence is sustained not just by what is tangible, but by the deep currents of the unseen. Even in its absence, air shapes your experience, whispers of life that intertwine with altars of time. The discomfort surfaces. What else do you ignore? What exists through the veil of visibility? Reality frays at the edges. The seen becomes the unseen, each moment teasing the fabric of your understanding. How often do you move through life blindly, enveloped not just by the air, but by ignorance? And yet, here lies the grace of existence. If you acknowledge the invisible, can you also embrace the myriad of mysteries awaiting discovery? Unseen forces pulse with potential, granting clarity to the world around you. The unseen becomes a canvas for introspection, inviting you to explore the delicate balance between presence and absence. What then becomes of you in this vast orchestra of existence, cradled by the invisible yet undeniable? Pause, breathe. Let the unseen wrap around you, and the void stares back. Your voice sounds different to you than to others. you'll never hear it as it really is. What if the essence of your being lies in a sound you'll never comprehend? The resonance of your own voice, cloaked in a distortion of familiarity, is a whisper of alienation. It dances beyond your reach. You exist within a cacophony of misinterpretation. But here's the catch. The vibrations that reverberate through your throat, the chords that form words, become obscured before they escape your lips. You hear it different, rich, full, echoing in the confines of your skull. Others receive a disfigured version, thin, brittle, at once foreign. Who then is the true architect of your identity? The voice that shapes your thoughts, your fears. It becomes infused with the limitations of your perception, a selective reality, an experiment in optics. The voice you hear reflects your joys and frailties, yet remains detached, draped in a shroud of illusion. You believe it to be yours. How do you reconcile this difference? Consider for a moment that sound is merely perception filtered through a prism of expectation. A study by cognitive psychologists revealed that the brain shapes what you hear in real time, adjusting for familiarity and emotional context. Words uttered may morph into comfort or chaos, curated by an inner critic that never sleeps. And yet, isn't this the essence of existence? A perpetual cycle of interpretation, fleeing from a singular truth. The distortion unfolds into boundless iterations, leaving you grasping at understanding. How do you find authenticity in a voice that is so easily lost? In this labyrinth of perception, echoes lead you in circles, challenging the very fabric of self. Are you defined by what you express? Or is it that your soul finds solace in a voice perceived but never fully grasped? Sit with this. Let the unanswered question linger like a verse unfinished, and the void stares back. Your brain predicts what you'll see before you see it, and calls that vision. What if reality is merely a script, unfolding before you in a rehearsal of predictions? Your brain, a skilled storyteller, weaves a narrative from fragmented sensory whispers, conjuring illusions that mask raw existence. Vision is not a passive experience, it's a performance steeped in anticipation, an art of seeing what has yet to unveil. But here's the paradox. You might believe you see the vivacity of color, the sharpness of form, but what flickers before your eyes exists only as a shadow of potential. The mind fabricates its theater, crafting a stage layered with expectation. How do you trust your perception when it is but a herald of your own biases? Neuroscience reveals this unsettling truth. Each glimpse is a collaboration with time, an orchestration of neural pathways racing ahead to fill the gaps. Like an artist with a blank canvas, your brain sketches outlines of what's familiar, blurring the edges of the unknown. Yet this isn't deception, it's survival, a way to navigate the chaos of sensory overload. Yet, within this interaction lies a haunting question. What if the very essence of your experience is skewed? What if the reality perceived through the lens of expectation is merely a subjective construct? You brave the abyss of possibility, wrestling with illusion, where the unexpected becomes your guide. In this psychical dance, mirrors reflect not just likeness, but interpretations. Every interaction with the world nudges your understanding, reshaping your perception. The anticipated becomes reality, and you exist in a paradox of trust, oscillating between knowing and unknowing. Sit with this. What truths lie hidden in the distorting glass? As you uncoil the layers, will you find solidarity in the illusion, and the void stares back? You create mental maps of places you've never seen in full. What if within you lies a cartographer, crafting intricate maps of imagination from whispers of experience? The uncharted territories of your mind, vibrant yet elusive, beckon you to venture into realms unpublished. These maps, drawn in your mind's eye, blur the lines between reality and fantasy, a testament to your artful existence. Yet, here's the catch. Unvisited landscapes are interpreted through familiar sights, memories frozen in time, and longing. Each curve and corner is colored by desire and expectation. How does one navigate a landscape crafted from echoes of the past, distorted by perception? Psychological research unveils that the brain, a skilled navigator, stitches together fragments of experiences, whether lived or merely envisioned. It excels at creating algorithms of familiarity, crafting blueprints, even for terrains untouched. But the paradox unfurls. These mental maps, profound as they may seem, exist on shifting sands, informed by both your limitations and dreams. And yet, as you voyage through this internal landscape, consider the beauty in its ambiguity. The pilgrimage to unknown shores becomes a journey worth taking, for each imagined vista mirrors your quest for understanding. How do you breathe life into the dreams? Each road leads to infinite possibilities, and the thrill of exploration opens doors unseen. In these mental terrains, every thought is a footprint imprinted in the expanse of awareness. How do you decide which paths to explore? With each false turn and forgotten trailhead, you learn. The maps you meticulously create are not only pathways to knowledge, but mirrors that reflect your yearning for connection, meaning, and essence. Sit with this. Will your next adventure unfold in the realm of reality, or remain the halcyon of the mind? And the void stares back. The past exists only because of memory, the future only because of expectation. What if time, that relentless stream, is little more than a facade, a construct of memory and anticipation? The past, a collection of vignettes retrieved from memory's embrace, whispers shadows of existence. And the future, a canvas brushed by expectation, stretches into the void, beckoning with promise and uncertainty. But here's the twist. You gravitate towards the past as if it were safety, embedding memories into linear narratives. The moments gathered shape your identity, yet these recollections are merely reflections, altered by emotions and context. What remains of the truth when nostalgia colors perception? Memory is a double-edged sword. It constructs yet deconstructs. Psychological studies reveal that our memories are never static. They morph, lose nuance, and regurgitate remnants of emotion. Each recollection is lacquered by the impressions of time, incompatible with pure truth. How do you navigate your own history when its reliability wavers like a mirage? And yet, the future, tethered to expectation, dances before you, a distant siren, luring with hope. Dreams form in the crucible of possibility. But what is foretold is merely imagination, a fragile tether to what could be, layered in uncertainty. Each projection may lead to brilliance or desolation. Can you trust this unfolding story? In this existential tapestry, you are left to ponder which narratives bind you to the past and which futures ignite the flame of hope. The essence of your being spirals in delicate loops, caught in the intricate web of memory and expectation. Sit with this. The clock ticks, echoes of yesterday merging with promises of tomorrow. Do you dare to redefine the story? And the void stares back. Your brain is 99.99999% empty. What does it mean to be nearly nothing? The unsettling truth emerges. On an atomic level, we are 99% empty. You are a gaping void draped in the illusion of solidity, a facade fashioned from countless atoms that whisper nothingness between the spaces. The paradox pinches. You are both a firm being and a spectre, hovering within this intricate dance of existence. What becomes of identity in such fragility? Imagine standing before a mirror, the reflection peering back. What does it reveal? Just a collection of atoms held together, pulsating with energy in a vast cosmos. But whose energy is it? This emptiness begs the question: what comprises your essence? A misaligned orchestra of particles, vibration woven into the fabric of reality. And yet here you are, feeling, wanting, dreaming. Emotions ripple through an expansive chasm, a delicately forged bridge of connection spanning the void. Just like a tapestry woven from silken threads, the way you experience love and heartache, joy and sorrow, hinges on electromagnetic signals pulsing through your brain. Perhaps you are more than an assemblage of particles, more than your atomic composition suggests. But are you? Through this atomic vastness, your perception flutters, fluctuating against the backdrop of uncertainty. What if nothingness defines us more than our form? If all that fills your being is an ocean of eloquent emptiness, how do you grapple with the weight of existence? In this complexity, each thought is an echo of something more profound. The world around you, thick with sentiment and experience, morphs into a canvas painted by the interplay of electrons and neurons. This nebulous connection, this energy, defines your reality. Your existence dances on a knife edge between brilliance and oblivion. The essence of love, pillared upon these mere electrical impulses, hints at the profound intricacies hidden within the empty. But can one be truly alive if the body is so hollow at its core? The query lingers, suspended like a bead of dew. Consider, are we merely echoes adrift in the void? This skeletal truth, rich and nuanced, urges you to sit with the abstraction. What emerges when you confront this radical emptiness? And the void stares back. Everything you feel is mediated by electrical signals. What if love merely flickers as a pulse of electricity? The petals through which it blossoms are but diversions, a delicate dance of neurons initiating heartbeat and sensation. Every feeling you cherish, from fleeting joy to aching grief, is a symphony curated by tiny currents traveling through your brain. Here lies the paradox. Sensation is an illusion, crafted from unseen hieroglyphs on the brain's surface. Is it possible that these currents define our very humanity? Consider that the split second between thought and feeling is but an electrical pulse, a blink of consciousness transformed into experience. In this feeble instant of connection, emotion becomes a mirror reflecting the core of your being. Yet, what remains unsaid? What lies behind the curtains of perception? But here's the catch. As you dismiss the invisible web binding thought to feeling, ask yourself, what truly drives the sensual experience? A spark here, an ache there, a fusion of signals rendered complex by memory, desire, and context. The electrical tapestry weaves the stories you inhabit, crafting narratives that feel luxuriously deep, yet are assembled from fragments of ephemeral currents. Think back on love. Does its electric glow feed the soul, or merely illuminate a mechanical echo forged in a lab? Each spark signifies something precious, yearning transformed into vibrant life. Still, the flickering leaves you pondering. Are we defined by what we articulate through this current, or something far greater? An intricate dance of empathy, vulnerability, and connection. As the electrical pulses coursing through you shape the essence of existence, reflect on your own creation. You've been sculpted, remolded. Each fleeting moment fractures into new experiences, emotions melding into a spectral kaleidoscope. You are a contradiction, a living symphony of sensation. Sit with this, if you dare, and the void stares back. Every 10 years, you can become a completely different person. Every decade marks a passage, a threshold inviting transformation. Why are you who you are today, yet poised to fade into the ephemeral mist of your former self? You may grapple with the notion, can one truly remain intact when time molds identity as clay in a sculptor's hands? The profound truth lurks beneath the surface. With each decade, you become a completely different person, unbeknownst to yourself and others. Time disentangles cellular memory, replacing the old with the new. Limb by limb, thought by thought, you reinvent yourself within this biometric rebirth. This shifting landscape can be disconcerting, a realignment of identity that often slips through the cracks. What pieces of you are lost even as others flourish? But here's the catch. The intimacy with which you cling to past selves ceases to signify permanence. What if the self you nurture fiercely today can unravel into fragments come the next decade? Longing morphs into a questioning taste of existence. Each iteration leaves behind question marks trailing into oblivion. You think you know you, yet in reality, perception stitches together stories that curve back into cohesive fragments. Hovering, unanchored by permanence, can you accept an ongoing metamorphosis? You're both a traveler and a pilgrimage, fated to evolve ceaselessly amid life's trials. Consider starkly feelings, quirks, patterns, all reconfigured, influenced by life's mere decision-making. The neurons that define you may forge connections anew, introducing unfamiliar echoes into your psyche. So, as you stand within the relentless current of transformation, take a moment. Peel back the layers that rest on consciousness. Can you trace again the roots of the self, or shall you slip into singularity, corroding edges, shaping anew? And the void stares back. When you see a star, it may have died millennia ago. Look up. In the fabric of the cosmos, stars shimmer like distant dreams. Yet here lies a melancholy paradox. The light reaching you may embody the essence of a creature long extinguished. Each twinkling dot, a cosmic echo, perhaps painting memories of death swallowed by the void. Are you gazing upon a celestial grave? Consider this. As billions of years unfold, light travels through the abyss, a slow unveiling of silenced stories. Reality is a layer-clad tale interwoven with the remnants of what once was. Those celestial fires, surging through time to touch you, beckon the question, can we ever truly embrace what is real? But what of the self reflected in this cosmic fabric? Are we not too remnants of what was? Every moment we savor becomes a whisper, a flickering memory born from the precise interplay of light and time. Ah, and yet, is this knowledge liberating, or does the weight of existence anchor you in longing? When confronted with the beauty of a star that has faded into the endless void, what emerges? Sympathy intertwined with awe, an awareness that life is a fragile blink pressed against the expanse of time. The shadows of past stars linger in your heart, a memento mori reminding you. Life and death converge. Meaning lies not merely in existence, but in the interplay of memory and presence. A dance that stretches beyond corporeal boundaries, knotting being into the infinite. Find solace in your mortality, in connections that thread through the centuries. Each heartbeat echoes through the web of the universe, tied by ancient light. And thus you seek, awaiting the touch upon time's canvas, and the void stares back. Your decisions were made seconds before you became aware of them. What if your will isn't yours? What if, just beyond your conscious grasp, the loom of choices is spun without your knowing? A puppet master resides within, pulling strings you can't feel. But here's the catch. You might relish that illusion of freedom. It's comforting, isn't it? To live under the belief that you guide your ship through the storm of existence. Consider the moment just before a decision. The mind whispers, choose. But the orbit of thought has already begun its unseen dance. Neuroscientific studies show that what we perceive as deliberation is merely our brain catching up to actions already seeded in the subconscious. Seconds race away, moments unclaimed. But how much can we trust this unseen hand? As if a clock ticks out of sync with the heartbeat of awareness, echoing doubts about our very agency. And yet, what if this unconscious choreography is not a theft of self, but a testament to the tapestry of humanity? Each neural intersection intersects with collective memories, instincts carved by lineage. Imagine walking a path formed by those who came before, tracing echoes of their desires, fears, and decisions. You become a vessel of inherited impermanence, connecting the whispers of histories not strictly your own. There's a paradox here, one that asks, can we find solace in surrendering to this unknown player? If every decision unfolds a mystery, how brave must we be to embrace the unknown? Are we not each a constellation in which countless voices converge? Can we learn to navigate through this web, accepting our lack of mastery as part of the dance? Perhaps it is liberating to admit our decisions emerge from a vast sea of stimuli and unconscious calculations. What happens when we resign ourselves to the currents of perception? Will it lead to despair or unlock a deeper understanding of our environment, an area fewer dare traverse? All we are left with is the haunting, spiraling question. Do we navigate our lives, or does life navigate us? What echoes are we meant to decipher from this cacophony of existence? Sit with this, and the void stares back. If you could hear all frequencies, the world would be deafening. Imagine witnessing the world through sound, each whisper, sigh, and roar layered into a symphony beyond your grasp. Every object an orchestra, every environment a concerto. But here's the catch. The world is quiet by design. Your ears filter, gently culling the deafening clutter of existence into something bearable. Consider the delicate balance between sensation and overload. The ability to hear is wielded not as an asset, but as a soft filter. Sound, once unleashed in its complete form, would drown the soul in sensory chaos. It becomes an existential paradox. While our senses yearn for totality, our minds crave distinction. The word silence morphs into a sanctuary amid the overwhelming din. Neuroscience teaches us that our brains tune frequencies, rendering much of what surrounds us into a harmonious experience. In fact, ambient noises can even enhance creative thought. Who knew that the tranquility of birdsong and gentle waves was a facade, masking a symphony of potential chaos? Emotions, laughter, cries, they flicker through the frequencies, hardwired, connecting us in a silent chorus of shared humanity. What if this selective hearing is an act of survival, not ignorance, a defense against collapse in the cacophony, a reconstruction of ego amidst sensory collapse? When the mind shields itself from the torrents of frequency, is it not crafting a refuge for thought, creativity, and emotional existence? And yet, what truths might go unheard in our selective silence? What melodies of life lie dormant, waiting to resonate within us? Is the intentional filtering a gentle deception or a wisdom kept? Reflect on this as we navigate our days, consumers of sounds both beloved and avoided. Each sound a ripple of the collective existence, interconnectedness woven into the threads of our lives. Pause, listen, and the void stares back. Most of Earth's organisms haven't been discovered yet. Can you fathom the enormity of undiscovery? The unseen beings that dance beneath the veil of our awareness, lying in wait like whispers on the wind. The unseen world, richer than any tapestry we can envision, shimmers just out of reach. But here's the catch. We tread upon this planet, oblivious to an uncharted realm bustling with life. Consider, for a moment, the biodiversity of Earth, an ever-expanding universe of organisms, some so minute they blend seamlessly into the fabric of existence. Over 50 years ago, the Human Genome Project unveiled complexities beyond comprehension. Today, it is estimated more than 90% of Earth's organisms remain nameless, wandering the precipice of discovery. A haunting truth unfolds. We walk upon a living planet, yet often overlook the vast synergies thriving silently at our feet. What do we lose in this ignorance? The world evolves, unearthing secrets in its own rhythm. For every creature we know, how many remain hidden like stories unwritten? A wealth of ecological knowledge is rooted in these unknown forms. The balance of life hinges upon relationships we have yet to acknowledge. This idea echoes another unsettling reality. What if our future is tethered not just to our discoveries, but to those we overlook? Our insights often blind us to what lies beneath, encapsulating the existential paradox of knowledge. The more we find, the more we understand our infinitesimal grasp. What ramifications stir when we grasp that our perception of the world is but a sliver of its truth? A plea arises for deeper understanding, for the embrace of curiosity to traverse the unseen. Are we champions of time's adversaries, standing before a gate of secrets yet to unfold? Sit in the epiphany of existence. Ponder your place amidst such complexity, located within a field of infinite mysteries, and the void stares back. Your name is an idea, your face, an expectation, your identity, a narrative. Consider this. Who are you without your name? An echo of sound that once was, an identity crafted from syllables. It is gifted, feigned, yet never fully yours. But here's the catch. We cling to these constructs, these pillars of selfhood, craving acknowledgement beyond our essence. Your face, a canvas splattered with the hues of expectation, morphs beneath the gazes of others. It whispers stories only you know, the laughter, the pain, the nuanced intersections of joy and grief. Each glance shapes perception, an untold narrative wrapped around your being. Yet how easily the faces blur, identities disassemble. Psychological research speaks of the immense power of names. A single label can conjure profound sentiments. It imbues weight, shape, presence. And yet, beneath this fragile facade exists a reflective truth. Your name is merely an idea, a collection of sounds rendered meaningless without connection. These labels, expansive and finite, can bind or liberate. How absurd it is to pin our existence to mere terms, coiling our lives through a narrative of societal constructs. This brings us to the labyrinth of identity, ever-shifting, elusive, a story perpetually unfinished. But what happens when the narrative unravels? When perceptions begin to dissolve, revealing the raw core of being? The paradox unfolds. Perception creates identity, yet identity creates illusion. What lies beneath when you look beyond the expectations? What emerges from that abyss between self-defined existence and societal narrative? Engage with the reflection of your essence, not through your name and not through your face. Where does truth begin, if all that's known is but a name, a fleeting glimpse through time? Sit with this dissonance, and the void stares back. Your body constantly regenerates, but it feels like continuity. What is the self, if it is always changing? Imagine a river that flows, yet appears still. Every cell in your body, a whisper of what once was, constantly dying and reviving. The paradox, continuity amidst the flux. Can you trust a self that ebbs and flows like tides? Your body is a mosaic of atoms, a shifting landscape of biology. Every 7 years, perhaps, a new you emerges, piece by piece. And yet, you remain anchored to this familiar visage. Your mind constructs the illusion of self, a narrative strung together from memories, hopes, and the daily ritual of existence. But what happens when the narrative fractures? Consider this. The body regenerates. What feels like permanence is an intricate dance of decay and renewal. Bones reinforce, skin sheds, cells signal, and somehow, amidst this impermanence, you perceive me. Thoughts race, identity lingers. Does the self persist, or is it merely an ongoing performance? What if the essence of who you are lies not in solid foundations, but in the very fragility of being? The reality is unsettling. Awareness is but an infinite loop. The philosopher Heraclitus once said, "You cannot step into the same river twice." If you are nothing but a river flowing through time, how can you grasp onto identity? Yet beneath this tumult, a comfort exists. Your consciousness clings to that narrative, to the familiar threads woven through your chaotic existence. They say you are a constellation of experiences, and therein you find meaning. The realization, though disquieting, becomes a soft embrace. Continuity is an illusion, but it allows you to navigate life. Sit with this. Each heartbeat is a pulse of renewal. Look inward. As your cells rearrange into something new, ask yourself, What remains? Are you but a story told by memory, an ethereal whisper etched into the fabric of time? And when the body shall fade, does the echo of your thought linger? The self is an intricate web spun from the fragile sense of I, a tapestry woven with threads of fleeting moments. As you grasp for your own essence, the truth remains. You are not static. You are breathtakingly transient, and the void stares back. Your gut influences your mood more than your thoughts do. What if I told you that your mind is not the master, but merely a servant? Beneath your thoughts lies a dark matter, the gut, the seat of emotion, the womb of intuition, a silent envoy. Can the whisper of your stomach weigh more than the echoes of your mind? You see, the gut communicates through a myriad of signals, neurotransmitters humming soft messages. The connection runs deeper than mere mechanics. It's a dance of neurons, a symphony underscoring your emotional landscape. Feelings, often deemed cerebral, swirl instead from this unseen controller. Anxiety, that fluttering in your belly. Happiness, a warmth radiating from within. But here's the catch. You may have dismissed these primordial signals, believing thoughts reign supreme. Cognitive scientists suggest that 90% of serotonin, that chemical dance of well-being, is produced in the gut. How curious it is. The very core of emotion blooms not from your brain, but from the labyrinthine depths of your body. Are we merely puppets of a predilection directed by gut feelings? The idea of mastery glimmers and dims. As you wander through life, ask yourself, what if your thoughts derive from a deeper, hidden place? What if your gut is the true navigator, pulling strings in ways you scarcely comprehend? Reflect on this. The gut speaks a language of its own, one often lost in translation. It can validate your fears before your mind constructs them. It can soothe or torment, echoing your innermost conflicts before you fathom them. Each decision made, sketched by those tender echoes, leads you to ponder. What truths lie buried beneath logical reasoning? If our feelings are governed by a landscape we seldom explore, how will you learn to trust those whispers? And in that questioning, discover a deeper layer, where thought and feeling clash like titans. Your body, a delicate marionette, dances on strings unseen. Authority is wrested away from reason. The gut claims its throne, and the void stares back. Your brain keeps working for several minutes after clinical death. What happens when the light flickers out? An enigma unfolds. The mind, a gallery of thoughts, ceaselessly functioning even when the pulse has ceased. How curious and unsettling that life extends a breath beyond the final sigh. What does it mean to exist in that limbo, where awareness lingers, echoing in the hollow chambers of the skull? Consider the fragility of consciousness. Clinical death arrives like a thief in the night, yet, for several minutes, your cerebral world remains alive. Emotions, memories, sensory echoes play out like shadow puppets. Is there consciousness beyond the veil? The paradox drips with profundity. In death, the mind transcends time, a fleeting spectre clinging desperately to the last flickers of existence. Imagine the thoughts that replay, moments of joy, fragments of sorrow, a recollection of love long past. The neural orchestra continues, even as the curtain looms. Scientists suggest that these final moments may be imbued with intensity, conjuring a desperate attempt at comprehension. Does the psyche grasp at purpose, seeking solace amidst the silence? Embrace the discomfort. What does it mean to be without agency? A vessel adrift, but mind awake. What messages escape to the great beyond? Are they cries for connection, or echoes of a life fully lived? In this interstellar gap, ponder deeper. If consciousness remains anchored in those moments after death, how might we redefine life itself? Do we measure value by the heartbeat, or by the legacy etched in thoughts lingering in our final breath? And when the temporal frame collapses, could it be that the essence of you transcends the finality, like remnants of the cosmos scattered across eternity? Or is it but an illusion, a flicker of energy in the face of stillness? And as you journey through these unanswered reflections, allow them to drift slowly in your thoughts, like stars in the inky night sky. And the void stares back. What you see as color depends on the culture you grew up in. Imagine living in a world where the sky is not just blue, but a myriad of shades you cannot fathom, each hue defined by a different language, a different experience. Colors, they say, are universal, but what if that universality fractures into an ocean of subjective perception? The unsettling truth is that your perception of color is as much a construction of your culture as the art that adorns its walls, a prism refracting reality through the lens of your collective narrative. But here's the catch. The spectrum of visible light never changes, yet your eyes, their very essence, have been conditioned to see only what has been cultivated around you. Can one ever truly see without the weight of expectation? What you label as red may spark a contrasting emotional echo in someone raised among different dialects and traditions. The simple act of witnessing becomes a battleground of identities, a cacophony of interpretations. Research reveals that language shapes thought. In some cultures, nouns are almost entirely absent, replaced instead by actions and experiences. Is it far-fetched to suggest that without a term for blue or green, the mind vanishes into a world devoid of those identifiers? It begs the question, how much of our emotion is tethered to our ability to name and define? Your reaction to a sunset may differ if, in your upbringing, the richness of color was muted, simplified, or entirely absent. And yet, as you grapple with this paradox, consider this. The vitality of perception thrives in its relativity. The very distinctions of color that divide us become the threads of unity, an intricate tapestry woven with the expectations we've inherited. What if those very shades you take for granted are mere echoes of a cultural song, vibrating in harmony or discord with others? Reflect on the moment you first recognized the hues of life. Could it be another person's reality offered the key to unlock your own senses? As colors blend and fade, the deeper narrative unfolds, a reminder that both perception and identity are deeply entwined with the world we inhabit. So, what color do you see now? Sit with this. Try to envision another's reality, glimpsing the universe through their eyes. The spectrum expands infinitely, even as you remain bound to your frame. And yet, even as we unravel this kaleidoscope, the mind asks, how much more lies outside our field of vision? In some languages, the word future doesn't exist. The future, a concept so cornerstone to our understanding of time, exists only within the embrace of languages that dare to name it. How peculiar. Imagine a realm where the unfolding of time becomes a mere whisper, a possibility unnoticed. The paradox of existence hangs heavy. We live in a state of continuous expectation, yet for some, this expectation goes unnamed, unclaimed. Is it liberation or confinement? Those individuals navigate existence without the burden of articulating tomorrow, their lives bound to the present moment. What if living was liberated from the weight of anticipation? With the shadows of future fears dissolved, does existence transform? Does it deepen, unfurling in spontaneous beauty without the need to measure loss or gain? Cognitive studies suggest that our reality is filtered through a language-driven lens. Each word constructs a framework of thought that can shape our very behaviors. In a culture where future is absent, how do individuals reckon with time? Is life merely a series of continuities, a seamless tapestry of past and present? The echoes of existence dance in the rhythm of this inquiry. But here's the catch. While absence can deliver a certain freedom, can an embrace of the present lead to stagnation? To live unmoored from tomorrow may seem refreshing, yet does it not ignore the weight of potential, of hopes that propel us forward? Can we cherish the unknown without wielding its title? Think deeper. What would life feel like if the word tomorrow was stripped of its significance? Perhaps there is beauty in surrender, a recognition that life flows as a river, unpredictable and vital. Moments cascade into the vastness of now, swirling with urgency, vibrating with the electricity of existence. Yet, in this flux, one must confront the intriguing truth. We are creatures forged by anticipation. The paradox remains unyielding. Every second pulses with possibility, a future unknown. So, what do you grasp with your mind's eye? How do you craft meaning without the thread of tomorrow? Sit with this uncertainty. The future doesn't hold a name, but it still looms, silent yet persistent. Your brain can predict a song and feel pleasure before the note plays. In the realm of sound, anticipation wraps around us like the warmth of a familiar embrace. Imagine, if you will, the melody lingers in your mind, a whisper of what is to come, a harmony gleaming on the horizon before it breaks the surface. What an exquisite paradox, that your brain can conjure a future note before it graces your ears. Science reveals this seductive dance of prediction, neurons firing in expectation, stirring emotions long before they unfold. It is a perplexing reminder. Your experience of music is layered, unfurling itself within the depths of your cognitive structure instead of merely being absorbed. The pleasure, choking with longing and anticipation, emerges from the promise of sound, a ghostly echo of what is yet to be. But here's the catch. Does this realization shatter your experience or enhance it? Are we merely shadowy specters, ensnared in the liminal space of longing, where emotions bloom like flowers that have yet to see the dawn? Can we appreciate what hasn't yet arrived? To be human is to wade through the waiting, the questions wrapped around desire and satisfaction. Think of a song you know too well. Each rising chord, every pause draws you into familiar intimacy. You don't merely hear, you feel. You've trained your brain to anticipate joy. And when you do hear that beloved note, a flood of pleasure courses through you. The prelude of delight, echoing long before the sound materializes. Yet, if the mind holds power over the heart, is there a dissonance in this cycle? Does expectation become a weight? Are we prisoners of our own longing? Does human experience hinge on this delicate back and forth between prediction and fulfillment? Grasping at these fleeting threads, one finds hope transcending sound, a reminder of connection and resonance amidst the silent promises we carry with us. So, what becomes of your song when you are stripped of the knowing? Does the present moment burst forth untouched, unfurling its untamed beauty before your senses? Sit with this tension. A measure of anticipation feeds the heart, and yet, in the silence of a breath, the rhythm thrives. Time passes faster for your feet than for your head. Consider, if you will, the peculiar notion that time dances differently depending on its locus of perception. Your feet, planted firmly on the ground, conjure a different temporal experience than your mind, soaring in its intellectual flights. Reality frays at the edges, sprouting paradoxes entwined like vines around a crumbling wall. Here lies the enigma. As you navigate life, each step becomes an invitation to the immediacy of existence, a rhythm governed by the pulse of Earth's rotation. While your mind races toward the future, weaving plans and fears, your body stays anchored, feeling the slow passage of minutes as they slip like grains of sand through your fingers. Yet, here's the catch. Do we find ourselves condemned to dwell in opposing dimensions? Mind and body struggle in this intricate ballet of perception. Cognitive research illustrates that when engaging in deliberate thought, time expands, stretches like a rubber band. But as you wander in the world, the moment rushes past, an exhilarating blur. What of the experiences we lose in this dichotomy? Life beckons to us with heightened urgency. Yet in our haste, How deeply do we drink from the cup of now? Each step carries within it the breath of life, an invitation to notice the mundane, the hidden miraculous nestled within. The artists, poets, and thinkers before us recognized this temporal rift. They embodied the urgency of now in their creations, forging connections that resonate through the ages. Have we ignored their lessons, retreating into our heads to escape the ethereal beauty that unfolds beneath our feet? In this tension, one must ask, how much of our experience remains locked in flight, forsaking the soil that nurtures our roots? The mind chases horizons, while the body breathes in the cadence of existence. So, when time morphs and bends, where do you stand? Do you let each moment slip by, or do you embrace the weight of the now? Sit with this duality, for each step may echo eternity. And yet, in the space of a heartbeat, who will you become? You will die. But it's not as bad as it sounds. Picture a black hole, a celestial void, a core of unimaginable density. Beyond its event horizon lies a realm where time itself is stretched and warped. An observer just outside sees light bend, frozen in a paradoxical dance. But here's the catch. We too exist in a cosmic ballet, unfurling beneath the weight of our mortality. What if death is but a doorway? Fear whispers of endings. Yet could it be that endings are merely illusions? We think we own our lives, holding tight to fleeting moments of pleasure, discomfort, and love. But when the music fades and the lights dim, it's not extinguishment that follows. No, rather an invitation to the stillness we've long avoided. Consider the fact. Every second, 2 people die, but 4 are born. Life's math is not neutral. One farewell leads to another hello, intertwining us in a ceaseless cycle. And yet, why do we mourn? That gnawing ache of emptiness reflects not just loss, but our reluctance to surrender the familiar and the void. It beckons. Perhaps it is in understanding our temporal nature that we liberate ourselves. Imagine a world where endings are not feared but embraced, where death is simply another part of the symphony, our fleeting notes transforming into echoes rather than silences. As we peel back the layers of our identity, we find frail connections, delicate yet profound. Memories shimmer like stars, each one a testimony to existence. But what if I told you those memories could be erased? Traumatic shadows erased like chalk on a blackboard. The absence still stinging, yet the painful fragments left behind may not always define us. Let these thoughts tumble through your mind, like leaves in an autumn wind. Sit with the paradox of being a cosmic afterthought, a fleeting spark in an infinite expanse. Most of our dread stems from our disquieting relationship with endings. Could we redefine death, transform it from spectre to solace? And after all, the universe, the grand architect, doesn't hold personal grievances. It flows, indifferent to our tears and laughter, not cruel, rather oblivious. What if this is freedom? An acknowledgement that we are but whispers in a relentless storm of creation and dissolution. So, when faced with the spectre of death, reflect not on the dark abyss, but on the dance of light that brought you here. Contemplating time's fickle embrace, grasp this. If everyone jumped at once, Earth wouldn't even notice. Consider the paradox of impact. We tend to think of our presence as monumental. We are the center of our universe, yet a collective jump from every human on Earth would hardly ruffle a cosmic feather, a mere twitch in the fabric of existence. And yet, what does that say about our sense of self? Do we ultimately matter? Within our fragile egos lies a haunting reality. We exist only momentarily, yet we cling to significance in hopes of being a part of something greater, a legacy, a memory. The truth, however, is stark. The Earth spins on, unfazed by our collective cries for validation. While we navigate our lives, our deepest fears wrestle with the cosmic dance around us, a continual cycle of being and becoming. What if I told you the universe doesn't care about you? Liberating, isn't it? No scrutiny, no judgment, just existence in a set of chaotic rhythms. In this indifference, we find solace. Yet, another echo persists. Every second, 2 people die, but 4 are born. A beautiful contradiction presses forth from this cycle of birth and death, intertwining existence and non-existence. Each life, each jump, though seemingly insignificant, adds flavor to the stew of reality, as every heartbeat resonates through the vast emptiness. But envision an Earth that could feel our collective presence, thrumming in symphony, a collective pulse vibrating through the planet. The disconnect between us and our environment becomes apparent. We are inhabitants of an indifferent sphere. It's a striking thought. Your feelings, your joys, your tribulations, even your very being are droplets in an endless ocean of life and loss. And after the jump, what then? Here is the paradox of existence. Our vanity clashes with our infinitesimal nature. We reach for meaning, yet are we just echoes, shadows in the grand design? The tapestry of life stretches beyond our comprehension, and perhaps true liberation lies in recognizing our insignificance. So, what if? What if we embrace the truth that we are but fragments dancing in an expansive void? That each life is a temporary note in a song of existence? To jump, to leap into the indifference, to realize that if everyone jumped at once, Earth wouldn't even notice after all. You never see the world in real time. Your mind sinks the delay. Reality, as we understand it, unfolds through a lens tainted by perception. The image we capture, our memories, our experiences, arrives delayed, a whispered message in the cosmic winds. What if you realized that your sight, your very existence, is a mere approximation of the truth? Imagine standing before a curtain, watching reality's play unfold. But here's the catch. It's a recording, projected moments after the action. You live within a matrix of your own making, filtering the raw stream of sensation into palatable bites. You exist in a feedback loop where what you think creates what you see. But is that seeing at all? There's an eerie comfort in this delay, a protective layer wrapping us against the chaos of immediacy. But what if each interaction was viewed not through our perceptions, but in their raw, visceral form? Would we be ready to face the full extent of our truths? On a subatomic level, particles reside in 2 places at once, existing beyond the constraints of conventional understanding. And yet, here we are, ensnared in a world of binary truths, a perplexing disconnect between our perceptions and the deeper realities of existence. Perhaps the answer lies not in the pursuit of clarity, but in embracing the overwhelming vastness of the uncertainty. If we played with our own delays, could we find peace? Each moment becomes a heartbeat, an invitation to explore within. Every visual image you perceive, every sound, every feeling, all arrive filtered through the sieve of emotion and expectation. The culture you grew up in, the language you speak, even the colors you visualize alter your perception. There's no neutral ground in this theater of existence. Everything is saturated in emotion. So, take a moment, sit with this realization. The world you see is not the world, but a reflection of your inner psyche. Time becomes a fluid tapestry, each thread woven with intention and mystery. In the end, maybe the truth is both liberating and suffocating. You never see the world in real time. Your mind sinks the delay. The question remains, what will you do with this knowledge? Traumatic memories can be erased, but the absence can still hurt. What lingers in the shadows of our minds resides as ancient echoes of trauma, shaping our very being. Imagine a landscape of fog where memory and absence intertwine, each a gossamer thread in the fabric of existence. What if, one day, the fog lifted? Here's the discomforting seed. Traumatic memories can be erased, tucked away like forgotten stories on an old shelf. We praise the idea of healing, a a quick fix for the wounds that burden our hearts. But as we erase the ink, what remains behind, haunting us? Absence, like an echoing void, lingers, inviting us to confront the silent agony of what's now missing. Think of the mind as a fragile house, each trauma a crack in the foundation, each erasure dulling its structure. Paint over the cracks, and yet the shadows remain, whispering of what once was. The absence can hurt more than the memories themselves. The silence speaks, defining who we are in the absence of who we have lost. But how do we navigate the fine line of erasure and remembrance? In every heartbeat, echoes of emotions pulse within us, dictating the tempo of our lives. Scientific studies suggest the brain retains a residue, even without explicit memories. What then nurtures this inner turmoil? Perhaps in acknowledging the fragments of pain, we begin forming a mosaic from our scars. The pieces are not mere twinkles of suffering, but catalysts for growth. As we dive into the depths of our being, consider this. Erasing trauma may gift us a clean slate, but what does that say of our narratives? Our identities are woven from the fabric of experience, stitched together through adversity and grace. Embracing the remnants of our pain offers us an opportunity to become whole, not merely survivors but masters of our reshaped narratives. Here we sit, in contemplation. The echoes remind us that absence can manifest more profoundly than presence. It calls forth reflection, begging you to ask, what do we truly erase when we heal? Can we embrace the ache? Perhaps in allowing ourselves to feel the absence, we might find beauty hidden beyond the fog. And in the end, isn't that what makes us human? The intertwining of pain and joy, absence and presence, coalescing into the rich tapestry of existence, alive with memory and absence. On a subatomic level, particles are in two places at once. Imagine a universe where existence blurs its own boundaries, a dance of particles, eternally torn between presence and absence. Here lies the profound twist. Reality revels in paradox. You are, at your core, a multitude of possibilities, oscillating between what is and what isn't. This dance of duality is not just physics. It is the essence of existence itself. But here's the catch. What if this duality isn't confined to atoms alone? Every choice, every identity you curate rests on a quantum field of uncertainty. You see, the act of observing shatters possibilities into a single outcome. The observer effect, as noted in quantum mechanics, reveals that reality doesn't just happen, it unfurls through our gaze. This invites a haunting reflection. Are you the creator of your reality, or are you merely perceiving a world already dictated by its very nature? Every moment, you exist within two states of being, the one you live and the one you could live. Your essence, like those spirited particles, dangles restlessly between past and potential. Consider the fact that on a subatomic level, particles can occupy multiple positions simultaneously. This invites introspection. How often do you limit yourself to one identity? What if all versions of you coexist, just like those elusive particles, forever navigating the boundaries of possibility? And yet, this spatial contradiction doesn't suppress you. It liberates. You are granted the potential to traverse paths unchosen. This notion of multiplicity echoes your existence, challenging the linear fate society often prescribes. You can weave through identities and experiences. Being is not a singular thread, but a vast tapestry of endless intertwining strands. However, in this vastness, the spectre of self-judgment lurks. Do you extract truth from the invisible? Your brain's structure is malleable, a canvas fashioned by your thoughts, perceptions, and beliefs. As neuroscientist Norman Doidge writes, the brain is an organism that can change. Every time you judge or hold yourself back, the neural connections adapt, and those altered structures frame your reality anew. The irony surfaces. Your self-concept is neither fixed nor confined, but a dynamic reflection of your mental landscape. What if, instead of conforming to a singular narrative, you embraced your inherent plurality? To exist simultaneously as multiple selves, liberated, expanded. A rich terrain of identity can sprout forth when you recognize that every choice brings forth not just a consequence, but an entire universe of possibilities that ripple beyond your perception. So here we are, lingering at the edge of existence, reaching towards what is not yet realized. Your journey transcends mere perception. It dances with untapped potential. Sit with this. Nurture the strange beauty of your overlapping selves. And yet, remember, every layer of existence whispers a hidden truth. It exists only because you choose to perceive it, and the void stares back. What you think about yourself directly affects your brain's structure. You are not merely a collection of experiences. You are a living, breathing narrative, a story forged in every thought and belief. In this unfolding tale, your self-concept threads itself through the very fabric of your brain, molding neurons as if they were malleable clay. Each belief, each doubt, shapes your neural landscape, rewriting your story in real time. But here's the catch. When thoughts become a relentless echo, they shape identity into stone. Consider the malleability of your brain. Neuroscience teaches us that neuroplasticity allows you to reshape the very structures of your mind, an ever-shifting architecture sculpted through intention. Yet, how often do you navigate this capacity only to succumb to the weight of self-criticism? As you ponder your identity, you wander into a paradox. You are both the author and the audience of your life's play. Imagine a script filled with defeat and self-doubt. The story you tell will resonate throughout the corridors of your thoughts. Each negative assertion carves deeper paths, channels of despair that might lead nowhere but further into darkness. Is it any wonder that the mind, burdened with discontent, struggles to acknowledge its own luminosity? And yet, there exists a pivotal question. What if every empowering thought is a step towards liberation? Embrace that you are a work in progress. Self-kindness, an act of rebellion against the conditioned self, has the power to cultivate new pathways. The philosopher Soren Kierkegaard once said, "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards." Herein lies the challenge. How do you reconcile the past with your evolving self? The truth is, your identity is an intricate maze, a landscape painted in hues of experience, belief, and regeneration. With every moment you exist, you rewrite your narrative. Like the continual flow of a river, you have the power to adapt, to reshape your understanding, to emerge as different beings along the journey. This capacity opens an existential door, the possibility of rebirth, of transformation, of choice. What carries the most weight is not what you are, but what you choose to become. Reflect on this. When you embrace the narrative of potential, you reshape the very roots of self-concept. Sit with this. The journey demands both reflection and courage. Ultimately, you are not bound to a singular definition or a fixed identity. Instead, allow your thoughts to intertwine with compassion, curiosity, and radical acceptance of the self. Remember, you wield the brush that paints your life's masterpiece, and every stroke can redefine reality itself, and the void stares back. Lack of stimulation can be as painful as overstimulation. In the void of silence or the chaos of noise, we find ourselves confronted with a fundamental truth. Stimulation is not merely an experience, it is the very fabric of our being. Imagine existing at the precipice of sensory overload, where the world bombards you with colors, sounds, sensations, provoking your spirit in a cacophony of existence. But here's the catch. What if the absence of stimulation holds equal power to disturb? Think about the desolation of monotony, the mind caught in a relentless loop, trapping you between the shores of stagnation and the urgency of excess. As we dwell in extremes, the the delicate equilibrium of motion and stillness shatters, leading to collective discomfort. Consider a state of sensory deprivation. Your brain thirsts for input, craving engagement, longing to weave narratives that define who you are. In extremes, reality slips through your fingers like sand. Even history reveals a haunting insight. Solitary confinement has been proven to fracture human psyche, illustrating the brain's reliance on external stimuli to foster resilience and awareness. Yet, in the chaos of existence there lies a paradox. Stimulation often leads to distraction rather than reflection. In the relentless pursuit of fulfillment through excess, there emerges a void that swells inside you. The rush of modern life becomes a blur, a spinning top losing coherence as the sights and sounds drown out the subtle whispers of truth. What if stillness holds the key to balance? In this tension-filled paradox, consider the moments you retreat into silence. The quiet beckons you, inviting renewal. Absence, it turns out, nurtures presence. In silence, the layers of consciousness reveal themselves. An ancient wisdom unfolds. In calming the storm, you cultivate clarity. Through stillness, intent is sharpened. But herein arises the question: how do you navigate this dance between stillness and stimulation? Can you embrace both extremes to cultivate balance? When you stop chasing stimulation and learn to cultivate silence, the mind flourishes. The act of sitting with discomfort teaches you resilience. Sit with this. Understand the fragile boundary between engagement and withdrawal. Both extremes demand awareness, the ability to feel and reflect, to adapt and grow. In the paradox of existence, every stimulus is a potential teacher. Therefore, find value in both chaos and calm, weaving each moment into your intricate tapestry of being. And the void stares back. If human DNA were unraveled, it could reach Pluto and back. What a magnificent paradox. Within each of us lies a cosmic thread that could wrap around celestial bodies, connecting the vastness of space and the intimacy of our existence. You are a universe contained within flesh, a carrier of knowledge stretching eons, resonating back to the very origins of life itself. But here's the catch. What does it truly mean to be so intimately intertwined with the cosmos? Each spiral of DNA not only chains atomic codes of survival, but also whispers truths of ancestry, resilience, and evolution. The once unimaginable distance from Pluto to the Earth becomes insignificant in light of the intricate tapestry woven through your cells. Imagine this journey through the fibers of existence. Every strand contains ancestral echoes, the stories of survival, adaptation, and triumph etched into molecular architecture. As biologist Edward O. Wilson put it, we are the product of 1,000,000 years of evolution. The choreography of existence dances along your DNA, inviting you to investigate who you are in relation to the vast mysteries around you. But within this cosmic connection arises a poignant question. How often do you disconnect from this grand narrative? When you focus solely on the immediate, the trivial, do you lose sight of the breathtaking continuum that courses within? Our lives are often distilled into flickering moments, obscuring the beautiful intertwining of fate, evolution, and ancestry. Yet the challenge is not just understanding this connection, it's embracing it. You are woven from the stars and interwoven with the depths of the ocean. Every interaction, each breath, magnifies the bond shared with existence. Such awareness ignites a profound sense of responsibility, to honor the stories held in your DNA, to nurture the legacy of resilience formed through eons. Embrace this narrative. Hold it close. As you unravel your consciousness, cherish the understanding that every decision reverberates across distances unfathomable. Recognize that you are more than the sum of your parts. You are the cosmos contemplating itself, a delicate intertwining of past and potential. Sit with this profound reality, the wonder of existence sparking within you. You are a cosmic voyager, a living testament to the journey of continuity, ever connecting with the universe at large. and the void stares back. The more you learn, the more you realize how little you know. Knowledge is a paradox. With every page turned, every lesson absorbed, awareness expands. Yet, within that growth is a constricting truth. The more we grasp, the heavier becomes the weight of our ignorance. It is as if knowledge is an ever-receding horizon, shimmering just out of reach. But here's the catch. You think you know your limitations, but knowledge reveals even deeper depths of confusion. Consider the vast ocean of truth beneath the surface of your understanding. You've dipped your toes, felt the chill. Yet, each ripple only hints at the immense depths that remain unexplored. Cognitive dissonance makes itself known here, for in every revelation there lurks a shadow of doubt, a whisper reminding you of how little you truly grasp. Each aha moment births new questions, spiraling into a labyrinth of inquiry. What if becomes a heartbeat of existence, propelling you forward into the void of uncertainty. This is not debilitating, it's liberating. Every discovery is an invitation to dive deeper, to accept the comfort of perpetual searching. In the annals of philosophical thought, Socrates once declared, "I know that I am intelligent because I know that I know nothing." Here lies a jewel of truth. Awareness of ignorance is itself a type of wisdom. The real tragedy isn't your lack of knowledge, it's the illusion of certitude that shrouds it. And yet, closing that knowledge gap becomes a sacred task. Each foray into the realm of understanding pushes you into a dance with the unknown. The universe, an ever-expanding entity, mirrors the vastness of your own uncertainty. As new concepts unfold, reality shifts, and you are left spinning in dizzying complexity. What if mere knowledge is the precursor to wisdom? Perhaps the act of learning is not just about acquiring facts, but about embracing the questions that arise, standing in the ambiguity. The brilliance of this paradox is that by diving headfirst into the abyss, you uncover glimpses of clarity, inviting you to wrestle with the ethers of existence itself. And so the truth becomes circular. Knowledge, your most intimate foe and friend, an open-ended journey, never quite reaching a destination. You remain in perpetual motion, oscillating in a dance of understanding. Sit with this. What if the beauty of existence resides not in answers, but in the not knowing, the exploration? And the void stares back. Every experience is filtered by emotion. There's no neutral perception. Imagine standing before a canvas. As colors bleed into one another, what you see is not merely paint, but a kaleidoscope of feelings intertwined with your thoughts. That is the reality of perception. It is a tapestry woven from the fibers of emotion. But why do we believe we can experience the world neutrally? Here's the paradox. Every decision, every sight, every fleeting moment is tinted by our emotional state. Joy twists experience into elation, while sadness casts shadows over the bright hues of life. The neutral, it doesn't exist. Neuroscience has shown the profound interplay between emotion and cognition. The brain, our ever-looming complexity, synthesizes streams of information, all while dancing to the beat of our feelings. A simple sight can evoke memories, conjuring both delight and despair. Take a flower, so beautiful, yet its fragrance might evoke a conflicting past. Can you separate the flower from the longing, the joy from the pain? This serves as a mirror for life itself. Every interaction is seen through the lens of our feelings. When you smile, your brain is already preparing a cascade of dopamine, spinning a narrative steeped in warmth. But what happens when you frown? Suddenly, the world loses its luster, colors fade, and hope dims. And yet, our emotions are curse, or the core of our humanity. In the grand tapestry of existence, are we not meant to embrace these shifts, transient as they may be? Reality, softened and hardened by our feelings, hints at something deeper, the shared experience of being. Within this emotional mosaic lies the jewel of shared consciousness. our neurobiology brings us together. When you connect with another, your brain mirroring theirs in remarkable symmetry, a shared language arises. We talk, we listen, and in that conversation, we synchronize. This intertwining becomes the essence of connection, lending depth to our interactions. So, what is the heart of perception? It is not merely the five senses. It is the emotional tapestry that accompanies every experience, endlessly reinterpretative. Sit with this. What if the beautiful chaos of human emotion is what gives richness to experience? And the void stares back. The universe is expanding faster than light can follow. Consider this. The universe, boundless, is in relentless motion. Cosmic inflation stretches the very fabric of existence, leading stars and galaxies to drift into the abyss, faster than light itself can travel. A paradox of scale, beauty, and inevitable distance. And yet, we conceive of reality as constant. But here's the catch. Imagine standing at the edge of the universe, stars twinkling in distant brilliance. You reach out, a fractal of reality, but those stars are no longer there. They've turned ethereal, shadows of light left in their wake, proving the illusion of permanence. In physics, galaxies escape our sight, lost to the unseen acceleration of cosmic expansion. This relentless movement means that some celestial bodies we behold might have disappeared eons ago. Their existence lingers only in the memories of light, an echo of what once was. And here lies the seed of discomfort. Nothing remains. What if this cosmic truth reflects our own temporal fragility? Every moment, fleeting, expands into memories lost to time, shaping our reality in webs of light and shadow. Just as the universe morphs, so too do our experiences, fading into the vast unknown. Yet, in the heart of this cosmic chaos is liberation. The universe doesn't care for your worries. It simply is. And within this indifference lies freedom. And despite the vastness, we remain profoundly connected. Our atoms, forged in supernovae, whisper of each other across the cosmos, teaching us that our presence is part of an ever-expanding narrative. In a blink, it could all vanish, yet life remains, fueled by strangeness and wonder. What if, in embracing this cosmic dance, we find our purpose? The expansion becomes a metaphor, each breath taken echoing the unfathomable vastness before us. Sit with this. Search for meaning amid an expanding universe, where everything, your memories, your heart, your very essence, flows and recedes into the void, and the void stares back. Human brains synchronize during conversation. Communication is an intricate tapestry that binds us. As words weave in and out of discourse, there lies an unseen dance. Our brains subtly shift and align, synchronizing like two celestial bodies in orbit. And yet, we often consider conversations mere exchanges of words. But here's the paradox. Beneath semantics lies an orchestra of neural activity. When we engage, our brains mirror each other, rhythmically echoing emotions and intentions as a silent convergence of rhythms. This neural synchronization is not just a curious coincidence, it's the foundation of human connection. Research has shown that during conversation, our brainwaves align, becoming conduits for understanding, enabling empathy and shared presence. But what does this phenomenon expose about our reality? Every word exchanged, every pause felt, reverberates between us in a symphony of hidden resonance. In this shared frequency, we cultivate a sense of belonging, knitting threads of understanding into the fabric of existence. And within this shared experience, discomfort arises. What if we realize our thoughts and feelings are not confined to our individual selves? We dwell in interconnectedness, interdependent and reflective. Our identities, narratives shaped by the echo of another's voice, become collective, fluid. Consider the jewel of connection. When we converse, the ebb and flow of understanding nurtures a garden of empathy. We grow together, transcending mere words, even when silence looms heavy. What if in this synchronicity we uncover the blueprint of relationships? Conversations are far deeper than mere exchanges. They are the vessels of human experience, reaching and touching hearts. Each alignment, a reminder of our shared existence. Sit with this. Explore not just the words, but the rhythm of thought, the depths of silence that carry unsaid emotions. And the void stares back. If you could see all radiation, you wouldn't see anything else. What would reality be like if perception expanded beyond the visible? Color, light, vibrancy, all swallowed by the chaotic storm of radiation pulsating through existence. Imagine standing in the eye of a cosmic hurricane where frequencies dance, yet your eyes find only solitude in the familiar spectrum. The entire universe, a luminous tapestry obscured by your narrow frame of reference. But here's the catch. You are not merely passive in this spectacle. Your senses, your perceptions are selective. They filter the infinite to forge a reality that can be comprehended. Yet that very selection births a paradox. What if the essence of the universe is forever eluding you? What if, like a radio tuning into a single station, you miss the symphony of existence played in frequencies beyond your reach? Historically, humanity has been tethered to a limited experience, confined to a skin of sensation. The electromagnetic spectrum stretches far beyond the colors we admire. It whispers secrets only to those who dare to listen. It begs the insatiable question, if the world is so rich, so layered in elements unseen, how often do we imprison ourselves in a cell of our own ignorance? Your isolation cradles a deeper truth. You are simultaneously alive and blind, aware yet lost in the void of unseen light. Think of the irony. A world bursting with complexity laid silent beneath the surface of a persuasive ordinary. You move through life, grasping for understanding, while the cosmic dance of particles, waves, energies occurs in an infinite theatre just beyond the grasp of your limited sight. Therefore, each moment carries a slight dissonance. Every choice, every longing navigated through the fog of perception, channeled by what you believe to be real. Reality itself, constantly fluctuating, never static. You may feel comforted by the visible, but what of the vast unknown? And yet consider this. Embedded within that uncertainty lies freedom. The universe, this tangled web of energies, refuses to conform to your whims. It does not owe you clarity. Instead, it offers chaos. The liberation arrives when you embrace the fact that you remain a traveler in a cosmos that continues to grow in dimensions you cannot fathom. Sit with this thought, for within the layers of existence lies the beauty of being, an intricate orchestration unseen, your very awareness, an echo of a truth beyond reach. And in that silence, you'll discover the myriad frequencies playing just out of sight. If the brain were simple enough for you to understand, you'd be too simple to understand it. Is your mind a labyrinth or a paradox? A vessel overflowing with potential and incomprehensible intricacies? Paradoxically, as you clutch the rays of understanding, you may find yourself entwined in the very complexity that upholds your belief systems. The more one learns, the more one recognizes the weight of their unknowing. Yet, in this spiraling complexity lies the essence of consciousness itself. What if your pursuit of knowledge is like grasping at smoke? The very nature of your brain, in its intricate wiring, spins wildly enough to baffle the most astute among us. Indeed, the brain has approximately 86 billion neurons sparking connections, a dazzling dance of activation and silence, fragmentation and synthesis. Each thought an electric storm. But here's the catch. While you delve for reasons, try to untangle a singular thread, you remain ensnared within your confines. Through the lens of your own thoughts, you reduce the mind into something sortable, tangible. Yet the brain, rich in paradox, confounds any effort to compartmentalize it. History reveals humankind's eternal struggle to pinpoint the territories of the mind. From Plato's dualism to modern neuroscience, theories spring forth only to dissolve into confusing simplicity. And what emerges from this pursuit? A collective ambivalence, a realization that true understanding bleeds into ineffability. Perhaps those who claim clarity experience mere surface glimpses, shadows cast against facades of a deeper architecture. And yet, this enigma births profound beauty. You exist within an unending narrative of thoughts, emotions, and fleeting moments. Isn't that wonder? To embrace the unknown, the unsolvable riddle that your own mind embodies, is an invitation to a dance with existence itself. Thus, with each emerging mystery, lies an invitation to revel in the enigma of your own being. Engage with the complexity, yield to it, and in the shadows, you may find light. Sit with this realization, for complexity is your sweetest companion. And in that embrace, you shall find the brilliance of the unfathomable. The laws of the universe work the same, even billions of light years away. What is the intrinsic nature of your reality? Is it a localized phenomenon confined to your immediate grasp, or is it a vast web unspooling across the cosmos? Imagine standing at the edge of existence, gazing at stars light years away, yet knowing, irrespective of distance, the physics remains immutable. The universe, relentless in its laws, binds all within its grasp, echoing truths that transcend time and space. But here's the catch. The laws that govern naively twig the backdrop of your everyday life. Gravity, inertia, force, all dance unchangingly, supplied by a cosmic order. Yet, in your mundane rituals, can you grasp the magnitude of their apply? Is their permanence a source of comfort or an unsettling paradox? And history reveals this clash. The same forces saw the rise and fall of civilizations, the birth of stars, and the eventual decay of solar systems. Why do you often assume separation between your human experience and the celestial? Every moment, an intricate dialogue with the universe itself. Consider this. You are but a fleeting whisper amidst the symphony of existence. There's an alluring friction in the knowledge that even in your insignificance, the laws of reality persist unaffected by your perception. Imagine infants born within gravitational fields, alive in realms brimming with possibilities, billions of years apart, yet analogous in their navigation of this cosmic dance. And that truth can bring both despair and liberation. You are a part of something far greater than self. Time and distance diminish none of its majesty. In this vast, indifferent universe, you find a resonating freedom. The laws hold your life captive, yet dance with it in chains of cosmic significance. Sit with this paradox. The vast weight of existence hangs lightly upon your shoulders, and here, on the precipice of transience, you meet the infinite. If Earth suddenly stopped spinning, we would all be thrown into space at 1,600 km/h. Gravity, an illusion in the grand tapestry of existence. The universe is indifferent, a vast expanse unbothered by our fleeting fears and aspirations. We are but whispers in the cosmic void, insignificant specks flitting through the grand scheme, and therein lies our liberation. You see, maybe the real weight of existence is not in the inevitability of death, but in how we dance in the face of it. What if embracing our mortality ignites a passion for life? An impetus to explore the exquisite chaos that is consciousness. It's both haunting and exhilarating to realize. From the very moment we draw breath, we are hurtling toward an end. So, what will you do? Will you stand still, paralyzed by the shadow of an inevitable reality? Or will you harness this transience? Engage with life, dive into the richness of relationships, the artistry of creation. Awareness of mortality can act as a compass, pointing toward a more profound existence. In this dance of life and death, echoes of infinity ring true. Each second, 2 people die while 4 are born, a counterbalance that reflects the intricate math of life. Are your fears suffocating your essence? At what point does the fear of dying become a refusal to live? Final moments are not marked by dread but potential. Imagine death not as a closing door, but as a threshold to something beyond comprehension. Maybe in the face of an indifferent cosmos, we discover power in our frailty. And so we conclude, embracing the spectre of death with open arms, not as an end, but as an essential part of the journey. Sit with this and realize, maybe, just maybe, being alive is the most revolutionary act. There are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all Earth's beaches. There are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all Earth's beaches. Contemplate that for a moment. A staggering emotional realization washes over us. You are standing on a revolving speck of dust, surrounded by an infinite cosmos, with countless suns glaring down, each whispering stories of creation and dissolution. What does it mean to be part of a universe so vast that your existence barely registers? As you let this notion seep into your bones, a curious paradox arises. From a point so small, a mere fraction in the expanse of creation, arises an essence capable of contemplating the very nature of existence. How can it be? You are both insignificant and extraordinary, a paradoxical dance that resonates through time and space. The stars twinkle, some already long extinguished, their light lingering long after they breathed their last. Does that not mirror our own existence? Do we not live under the illusion of permanence while we drift closer to our inevitable time out? Our lives illuminated by aspirations, passions, and fleeting moments of connection. And yet, the cold truth simmers beneath. We are all simply echoes. But here's the twist. This overwhelming vastness offers a liberating truth. The universe does not care about you, and therein lies your freedom. The burdens we carry often stem from the relentless chase for meaning, validation, approval, and permanence. What if we accepted that life's meaning is not imposed from above, but crafted with every breath we take? You are a trail of stardust, finite yet infinite. In the grand narrative, your existence pulses with the same energy that nourishes the stars. You are a fleeting whisper in the cosmic void, temporarily grasping at straws of significance while unwittingly spinning an intricate story. Yet we dance, blissfully unaware amid the vastness. How do we reconcile this paradox? Can you breathe in the enormity? Can you find grace in your insignificance? Breathe deep, for there's strength in embracing the chaos, in acknowledging our fleeting nature. What course will you chart? Will you succumb to despair? Or will you ignite your spirit with passion? Embrace the transient nature of existence and swim in the cosmic sea of stars, a collective consciousness exploring the depths of meaning, even as the void swirls around. The universe doesn't care about you, and that's liberating. The universe doesn't care about you, and that's liberating. A jarring realization, isn't it? Life is often portrayed as a grand narrative with intrinsic value placed upon individual significance. Yet, this perception is a mirage, a comforting cushion that shields us from the rawness of existence. What happens when we dismantle that illusion? Think about it. This indifference of the cosmos shatters the weighty expectation we often. Each star sparkles without regard for your struggles, your triumphs, or your dreams. They burn and flicker in a vast emptiness, oblivious to your quest for meaning or purpose. Here lies the paradox. This very indifference grants you an unshackling freedom. In your singular experience, you can forge meaning from chaos, unbound by cosmic judgment or validation. The pressure to conform to a preordained script dissipates, allowing room for authenticity to emerge. What would you create if you acknowledge this liberation? Would fear still stifle you, knowing that in the grand scheme, there's no cosmic scale upon which to weigh your worth? Let's not forget, every thought you entertain, every desire you harbor, influences the delicate structure of your brain. Your perception is uniquely yours, with emotions acting as filters, sculpting your reality. But consider this. What if these narratives we cling to are mere illusions? The subjective layers pile upon one another, obscuring the pure essence of existence. So, here's a question. If the universe is indifferent, how do you choose to define your story? What constitutes living? The freedom lies in your ability to carve significance from raw experience. Each moment, fashioned into a brushstroke of existence, vivid, distorted, beautiful. Rejection of predetermined purpose allows you to embrace your own narrative. Shed the weight of expectation. Embrace vulnerability. In this dance, rich with imperfections, lies an opportunity to explore the depths of your own humanity. Unfiltered, uninhibited, unapologetic. Dive into the abyss and allow yourself to be vulnerable. Watch as the parameters of existence shift with newfound awareness. The universe's indifference becomes a canvas, painted with strokes of your choosing. You are here. You matter, not for the universe, but for you. And in this paradox of existence, the void stirs yet again, offering a silence that resonates. Sit with this and breathe in the liberating truth. Every second, 2 people die, but 4 are born. Life's math is not neutral. Every second, 2 people die, but 4 are born. Life's math is not neutral. Paradox drips off this numerical truth, doesn't it? A cycle perpetually spinning, oblivious to the value of individual lives. Each heartbeat, a testament to inevitability. Each breath, a reminder of fragility. What is this chaotic dance we participate in? The constant interplay of demise and birth creates an ever-spiraling narrative, the continuum where light dissolves into darkness, only to be rebirthed anew. The universe remains unfazed, forging ahead in indifference, but herein lies a difficulty. How do we reconcile this dissonance within our quest for meaning? With every death comes the echo of a story untold. With every birth, hope attempted anew. But do we honor this cycle, or do we cling to our individual stories as sacred? Our minds filter reality through emotion. Thus, how can we disentangle the weight of loss from the jubilance of new life? The numbers loom large, but life is painted with strokes of uncertainty. In the face of mortality, we often hide, an act of rebellion against the unrelenting tide. What if, instead, we opened ourselves to vulnerability? Each death, an ending and a beginning. Each birth, a chance to rewrite the narrative. In navigating this dissonance, perhaps we can align ourselves with the rhythm of life. Be truthful about the cycles of transformation that define our existence. Recognize loss for its bittersweet beauty. Embrace birth for the promise it holds. The tension builds, a reminder of our connectivity. Through death, through life. Drift into this swirling chaos. Can our pain coexist with our joy? Can the finite give rise to the infinite? Life is not neutral. It's a spectrum, oscillating between sorrow and elation. Step into that truth, and perhaps find solace in shared experiences. Breathe deeply. Each breath shared between the living carries weight, and each heartbeat becomes an acceptance of the enduring cycle. In the beautiful absurdity of it all, realize your existence is an echo, a response to the relentless mathematics of life, not merely solitary but intricately intertwined. So, stand witness to this unfolding tapestry. In the delicate balance of life and death, you forge connections that defy oblivion. Sit with this and let it echo within.